A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters! Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In a moment, we'll join Deputy Chief Dan Moore, who's pinch hitting for Chief Cody while the chief is away at a firemen's convention, and rookie fireman Tim Collins at the 3-alarm fire in the basement of the 12-story Butler building. Now, you'll recall that Tim's rescue company had been called to get out those workers in the sub-basement felled by smoke and fumes. And now, at the moment, everything depends on the engine company men, who with their heavy hose lines are fighting desperately to keep the flames from reaching the elevator shafts. If they fail to do this, well, you'll see the consequences for yourselves when we move up to the scene of action right after this message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's duck under the lines which hold the crowd back some distance away and move along the torn-up street which is under repair in front of the 12-story Butler building. Now, right ahead now is the engine company's giant pumper, which with several other trucks managed to twist and turn its way through the rubble close to the basement entrance. Deputy Chief Moore, who's subbing for Chief Cody, and rookie fireman Tim Collins are there watching what they hope are the last few stragglers leave the building. But right there's one source of danger. In an office building this size, it's difficult to make sure that every last person is out. As Deputy Chief Moore says,
You see, Tim, if that fire in the basement gets loose, sweeps up an elevator shaft, breaks out above somewhere, and anyone gets trapped.
Say, that's right, Chief Moore. Coming out of the sub-basement with my gas mask on, I hadn't noticed, but I don't see your aerial ladder.
Well, you don't see it because we can't get a truck that size down this doggone street in the condition it's in.
Oh, brother, I sure hope we don't need it.
Well, maybe we won't, but if we do, that really will be the payoff. What are you looking like that for, son?
I was just thinking of Jimmy.
Jimmy? Oh, your kid brother.
Yes, sir. I was recalling something I told him a while ago about how we sometimes had to use scaling ladders.
Whoa there now. If you got any picture of yourself dangling from a scaling ladder, hooked onto a window, 9 stories up, making like a human fly, just forget them.
Frankly, Chief, I don't mind forgetting that picture at all.
Well, chances are pretty good we won't have to do any scaling.
I'll be honest, sir. Pretty good?
Well, just there then. Doggone it, I wish we could get that aerial ladder in here.
Yeah, I see, sir. Well, if we can't, we can't. Maybe it's just as well I brushed up on scaling ladder technique, huh, Chief?
Meanwhile, Tim Collins' young brother Jimmy and his pal Jack Carson have gotten tired of being hemmed in behind the lines with the rest of the crowd. They've pushed their way out and are heading down the street, which gradually angles its way to the back of the Butler building.
Well, I got over that cop, Jimmy. I told him your brother was a firefighter, and still he wouldn't let us through.
Oh, he was only doing his job, Jack. You knew he wouldn't.
Yeah, I guess I did.
The trouble with you is you always want to be right in the middle of things.
Say, Jimmy, maybe Chief Moore would give us passes to get through the fire lines.
No, he couldn't do that.
Oh.
And neither could Chief Cody if he was here. Say, this parking lot is right in back of the Butler building. You can see the smoke creeping out from the basement.
Yeah, but the main fire is near the front, on the other side, Jimmy.
I know, Jack. That's why there's nobody here. Everybody's gone around there.
Is that street a mess? Yeah, well, those firemen saw all the trouble they had getting the trucks up close.
Well, the way I figure it, it's not much of a fire. The chief will have it out in no time.
Well, how can you tell, Jimmy?
He's kept it from spreading up to the first floor, hasn't he?
Yeah, I guess that's a lucky thing. Boy, if it had spread while there were people there. Wow.
Well, anyway, they're all out now. Hey, Jack, do you remember the scaling ladder I made today? How'd you like to use that to climb the outside of a building this high that... Hey,
What's the matter, Jimmy?
Oh, gosh, I thought I saw someone way up high at a window.
Oh, you're seeing things. You said yourself everybody's out.
No, look at there. It's a lady. She's leaning way out. But she's going to drop something, I think.
Drop something? Well, why should anybody do a crazy thing like that? Hey, holy smoke, she did. She dropped a bottle of some kind. That could be dangerous. Well, didn't she see her standing here?
Of course she did. Come on, Jack. There was something in that bottle.
If there was, all I can say is it's no good now. She must be about 8 stories up.
There. Look where that smashed on the ground. It's a piece of paper.
I get it, Jimmy. She wrote a note. She put it in that bottle.
So the wind wouldn't carry it away.
Yeah, and she knew when it smashed, it would get our attention. What's the note say, Jimmy?
Just 4 words.
Huh?
Her handwriting isn't very good. She was either in a hurry or scared to death, Jack.
Well, what's it say?
It says, locked in, help me. That's all.
Oh, boy, that's enough. How'd you like to be locked in an office or something way up there with a fire in the basement?
I wonder how the firemen and the police missed her. They were going through the building, clearing it.
Oh, gee whiz, they nearly had a riot. All that excitement. Say, maybe nobody heard her hollering.
She's scared plenty. Look at how she's waving at us.
Jimmy, somebody's got to help her.
They certainly do. And I'm going to report it to the chief immediately.
Well, why do that? Look, I can be up there and unlock her in less time than it'll take you to look up the chief.
Are you crazy? It's dangerous going in a burning building like that.
Well, why? The fire's in the basement. They'll have it out soon. There's a back door over there.
Well, besides, it's against the law to cross police lines. You're a junior firefighter. You ought to know that.
Look, I can run up the stairs and be back as quick as any fireman. I'd have her out in no time. I wouldn't be taking any chance. You could report what I'm doing to the fire department, and they could send up some men after me if they wanted.
Jack, I'm warning you. It's dangerous, and it's not the way to do it. The firemen can rescue her. They're trained for jobs like that.
Look, there's nothing to it. I'm going up. You can tell them I'll let her out and bring her down the main stairs in the front, the same way everybody else walked out.
Despite Jimmy's protests, Jack makes his way into the Butler building, bent on rescuing the trapped woman. A few minutes later, there seems to have been a spurt of renewed activity in the cleared area in front of the Butler building. A small ladder truck is bumping its way over the torn-up pavement, trying to get in closer. And at the foot of the building, Tim Collins and a group of firemen are connecting hose to twin brass pipes, which protrude from the building's side. Now, above those is a sign you've probably noticed many times over these pipes, reading, Fire Department use only. For those connect with a high-pressure water system, which runs through most big buildings. Well, now, Tim is approaching Deputy Chief Moore to report.
Okay, sir, stand pipe to connect with the pumper now. Shall we head up to that 5th floor?
Not you, Tim. You're not in the engine company now. Get your lines up there fast, men. You know where the 5th floor hose is in this building. Disconnect it and get the department's lines ready for use. Now, hop to it.
Now, what's the matter with the buildings, Chief Moore?
Nothing, but their lines are connected to the water tower on the roof.
Oh, not now, sir. And we just hooked those brass outlets up with our pumper. Water comes from the hydrant forced through their pipe system by our pumper.
Well, that's the point. Their hose could stand the pressure from the water tank on the roof. But I don't know if they could take the pressure we're going to give any minute.
I get it, sir. How about the 9th floor?
I just sent in another alarm. I'm going to try and get the water tower truck through here.
I see.
If we can, we'll get water up to that floor, all right.
We can't get up there to use the building's apparatus?
Not right now, we can't.
I see.
Well, now you fellas finally got that truck through this mess. Get those ladders out and into position.
A 35-foot ladder won't begin to reach as high as we need, sir. Will you use extension?
Not as long as we can work inside.
I see.
If the fire moves down on us, then they'll be of use getting lines up to the windows within our reach.
There's your signal from the 5th floor, Chief.
Okay. Give them water, men. Plenty of pressure behind that pumper.
Oh, for Pete's sake, how'd Jimmy get through the police lines? Excuse me a minute, sir.
I'm coming, too. That kid looks worried.
Yes, sir.
I've been trying to get through, but a policeman kept stopping.
That's his job, Jimmy. You shouldn't be here.
But I had to tell you where my friend Jack Carson went.
Huh?
Your friend is the least of our worries right now, son.
But he must still be in the Butler building.
In the What are you talking about?
Look, Tim, a woman threw a bottle down from a window way up.
Yeah?
It was around back of the building, and there was a note in it that she said was locked in someplace. I told him not to do it, but Jack insisted on going up and letting her out anyway.
He's in this burning building?
Well, if he hasn't come down in the last couple of minutes, he is.
The little fool. How long ago did he go up?
Well, gosh, about 10 or 15 minutes ago.
It was about 10 minutes ago that fire got away from us. Reached the elevator shaft, Tim.
What floor was this woman on, Jimmy?
Oh, I'm sure it was the 8th floor. I counted up to where she was waving at us.
Chief Moore, couldn't Jack have come down the front stairway?
Well, sure he could. He went up the back way, but he said he'd bring the lady down the same way everybody else had got out.
I'm sorry, Tim, but I had men on all those floors as high as the fifth. They'd have seen him if he'd come down.
Yes, sir. Well, I guess we can forget that. Fire blocked off the stairway first, from what I heard.
That's right. And I was thanking heaven my men had worked their way down before it happened.
Something's happened?
Yeah, Jimmy. Fire's got into the elevator shaft. It's already burst out on the 6th and 9th floor.
Oh, gosh, I hope Jack hadn't started down. I hope he wasn't on that 6th floor when...
Don't talk like that, young man.
Well, it's all right, Chief. We don't have much choice any way you look at it. At best, Jimmy's pal Jack is probably caught up there, high up in that building in a spot where we can't get to him.
Well, did Jimmy's friend Jack Carson reach the 8th floor just in time to be trapped? If you want to know the answer to that question, be sure to listen to our next exciting episode of The Firefighters. In a moment, Deputy Chief Moore, subbing for Chief Cody, will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message especially for you. Now, here is Deputy Chief Dan Moore with a message for all firefighters. Chief Moore.
Well, this is Deputy Chief Moore back again, boys and girls. Before Chief Cody left for a short trip to the Fire Chiefs Convention, he asked me to tell you about cleanup campaigns. Did you know that a lot of towns and cities have regular cleanup campaigns? Well, that's a fact. Civic organizations get together and make plans for cleaning up not only the eyesores in your neighborhoods, but also spots like dumps and vacant lots that may be fire breeders. Look into this. Find out what your town is doing, and then get in there and do your part toward making your neighborhood a safer place to live. That is all.
Deputy Chief Dan Moore and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's go!
Let's go! Firefighters!
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike.
Quality of product is essential to continuing success.
Exhibit A, Lucky Strike.
In a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. And today, tomorrow, always, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Lucky Strike presents The Man Who Knows. Mr. S.M. Cutts, independent tobacco auctioneer of Oxford, North Carolina, has sold over 300 million pounds of tobacco at auction. Recently, he said,
Year after year, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine tobacco. Ripe, prime leaf. Take it from me, that tobacco's really fine tobacco. I've smoked Lucky's myself for 17 years.
At auction after auction, independent tobacco experts like Mr. Cutts can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco. Remember,
LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, and fine tobacco means real, deep-down smoking enjoyment for you. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike.
Yes, next time you buy cigarettes, ask for Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw. The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
Passengers, please step to the rear. Step to the back of the bus, please.
Oh, isn't this awful, Catherine? You'd think some gentleman would get up and give one of us a seat.
I beg your pardon, ladies, but would any of you care to sit down?
Oh, you're very kind, isn't he, Catherine?
He certainly is. He got up and gave the three of us a seat.
Yes. He has a very big heart. Jack Benny's announcer?
Well, yes, I am.
Oh, I just love that program. It has so many interesting characters. They act so crazy.
Oh, Jeanette, they only do that to make people laugh on the radio. Those things never happen in real life.
Oh, they don't, huh? Well, now let me tell you something that really happened yesterday.
What was it?
Well, Jack Benny, Phil Harris, and Dennis Day dropped into the corner drugstore to get a bite to eat.
What are you going to have, Phil?
I don't know, Jackson. What are you going to have?
I don't know. How about you, Dennis?
I don't know.
See, it's so hard to decide what to... Just look at that. Waiter! Waiter!
Yes, sir.
Look, there's lipstick on my glass.
Well, there's water in it, too. Wash it off.
Their bread should be that fresh. Well, Phil, have you decided yet?
Yeah, I think I know what I want, Jackson.
What'll it be, sir?
A roast beef sandwich and a fifth of milk.
Phil, milk doesn't come in fifths.
Well, how do I know? It's the first time I ever ordered this stuff.
Dennis, have you made up your mind yet?
Yeah. Waiter, bring me a dish of ice cream with a strip of bacon on it.
Dennis, ice cream with bacon? That's ridiculous. Why don't you have it with chocolate syrup?
Okay. Waiter, bring me some bacon with chocolate syrup on it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Hey, what are you going to have, Jackson?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, waiter, what would you suggest?
How about lamb stew?
No.
Some veal cutlets?
No, I'm going home soon. I just want something to hold me together.
How about some Scotch tape?
Look, just get their orders, and I'll think of what I want.
Hey, Dennis, how's your Colgate show doing?
Oh, it's fine. I like the idea of having two shows.
Gee, I don't know what to order.
How's your pitch bandwagon doing, Phil?
Great, kid, great. Alice just picked up my option for another 13 weeks.
Maybe I ought to
Holy smoke, Jackson. Haven't you made up your mind yet what you want to eat?
Well, how can I think with you fellas always talking? I got two shows. That's all you hear.
2 shows. You ought to be ashamed of yourself putting other people out of work with 2 shows.
I haven't got 2 shows. They've got 2 shows.
Well, bully for them.
What?
Here are your orders, gentlemen. Now, what'll you have?
Well, I think I'll have a hamburger. And let's see, do you have any hot chocolate?
No, but here's a Hershey bar and a match.
Oh, nuts.
They're in it, too.
Never mind. Just give me that piece of chocolate cake right there.
That's vanilla.
It is not vanilla. It's chocolate.
I'll dust it off and show you.
Don't bother. Just give me a piece of that huckleberry pie.
You want to make a bet?
Well, give it to me, whatever it is. A man could starve to death in here guessing. Now, give me that pie.
Hey, Jackson.
Huh?
Hey, look at that beautiful blonde coming toward the counter.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Phil, she's heading this way. I'll move over one, then she'll have to sit between us. Forgot I was sitting on the end stool. Help me up off the floor, Phil.
Well, there's a switch, me picking you up.
Well, look, fellas, I gotta go home now. Look, I'll see you later.
Hey, Jackson, wait a minute, Jackson. What about the check? Jackson, what about the... After 11 years, you'd think I'd know better. How tight can the guy... Hey, Dennis, what are you looking at?
That magazine over there, Ronald Coleman's picture's on the cover.
Oh, yeah, Ronald. Gee, look at him. With those broad shoulders, intelligent eyes, pearly teeth, dimple in the chin. If he was 1 inch taller, he'd look just like me. Oh, yeah, Ronnie. Man, he sure is handsome.
Thank you, old fellow. It was awfully nice of you to say that.
Hey, Dennis, you know something? You sounded just like him.
Yeah, I like to do imitations.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good, too, kid. You know, I can hardly wait. Hey, wait a minute.
Huh?
Hey, look, I got a great idea. Hey, you want to have some fun, kid?
Yeah, how?
Well, now, look. Let's give Jack some time to get home, then we'll call him on the phone. You disguise your voice like Ronald Coleman's and invite him over to his house for a party.
Oh, boy, come on, let's go in that phone booth.
Well, take it easy now. We got to give him plenty of time to get home. He's walking and he ain't really 38, you know.
All right, while we're waiting, let's play the jukebox. One of my records is in it.
Oh, your record's okay. Here you are. I'll drop a nickel in there, huh?
say there was once a cabaret and Mimi. As the night went along, there was suddenly a song and Mimi. All the world seemed to say that they loved the cabaret and Mimi. But I knew that when she'd see me, Mimi sang for me alone. Came in a passion, with a passion, for dancing with the one that I adore. Taught her to dance in his fashion, and for me she's singing no more. On the rue de la Paix, there was once a cabaret and Mimi. Now I'm sitting sad and dreamy, just for Mimi and her
Well, here's my house. It wasn't such a long walk out to Beverly Hills after all. I might as well plant grass out on my front yard. They won't let me park cars here anymore. Let me see. Where's my key to the front door? Here's the key to my car. Here's the key to the back door. Here's the key to my hope chest. Key to my trunk. Key to the garage. Here's the key to that can of salmon I had last night. Why do I save those things? Oh, here it is.
Is that you, boss?
Rochester, what are you doing at home? You're supposed to be out at Hillcrest Golf Course looking for my golf ball.
It's no use, boss. I've been looking for that ball for 3 weeks now, and I just can't find it.
Well, did you look behind all the rocks? Did you look in all the bushes? Did you look down the gopher hole?
I even took the gophers to a doctor's office and had them x-rayed.
You had the gophers x-rayed?
We found 6 acorns, a bunch of roots, a Canadian penny, but no golf balls.
What?
One of them had gallstones, and he fooled us for a while.
Well, that's the silliest thing I ever heard. Taking gophers to a doctor's office. I wish you would... Wait a minute, Rochester. What's that wiggling around your pocket?
A gopher. I thought you'd like him for a pet.
Oh.
Look, boss, he's peeking out at you.
Oh, isn't he cute? Look at that sweet little face. Got blue eyes just like mine. I wonder if I could get his teeth straightened. Imagine the patter of little gopher feet around the house. Say, Rochester, how'd you happen to pick this one to bring home?
He's the one with the Canadian penny.
Oh.
When do we operate, boss?
Stop joking. Now, Rochester, you better go back out to the golf course and keep looking for the ball. It must be... Hey, I just thought of something. Maybe we looked in the wrong place. Now, we took it for granted that I hit that ball in the rough. Maybe I hit such a good shot it landed right on the green.
Oh, boss, calm down.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, we'll look for the ball tomorrow. By the way, Rochester, what are we going to have for dinner?
6 acorns, a bunch of roots, and southern fried gopher.
I don't want that. Just open a can of sardines.
Okay, give me your keychain.
Here you are. And hurry. I haven't had anything but a dusty piece of pie all day. I'll be in the... There's the phone. I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, old boy. This is Ronald Coleman.
Ronald Coleman? Well, Ronnie, how are you?
Splendid, thank you.
Good. How's Benita?
Who?
Benita, your wife.
Oh, I thought you said Santanita. Benita's fine.
Good.
Oh, by the way, Jack, what are you doing tonight?
Nothing. Why?
Well, Benita and I are having a little party at the house, and we'd love to have you come over.
Tonight? Gee, that'll be swell, Ronnie. What time should I be there?
Just a minute. I'll ask Santanita.
Who?
Benita, my wife.
Oh.
Hey, Phil, what time shall I tell him to be there?
9 o'clock, and tell him to bring his girl with him.
Hello, Jack. Benita says 9 would be fine, and to bring your lady friend with you.
You mean my girl, Gladys Zabisco?
Yes, we've both been anxious to meet her.
Hey, kid, tell him it's a costume party.
Oh, by the way, Jack, when you come over tonight, we wish you'd wear something.
What?
A costume party, you know.
Oh, a costume party. Gee, that'll be fun. We'll be there at 9 o'clock sharp. Goodbye, Ronnie.
Goodbye, Jack.
Hey, Rochester, I've been invited over to Mr. and Mrs. Coleman for a party tonight.
You want me to get your tuxedo?
No, this is a costume party. See, I don't know how to dress.
Well, why don't you wear your toupee upside down and go in the bird's nest?
Say, maybe I... No, it would tickle me. Hey, wait a minute. I know where I can get a cowboy costume. That's it. I'll go as a cowboy.
Are you going to take Miss Livingston?
No. She's out of town this week. I'm going to take my old girlfriend, Gladys Zabisco. She'll love it. Gee, Gladys, it's nice out tonight, isn't it?
It sure is, Speedy.
Glad you were able to make it. I thought that since it's so close to Thanksgiving, you might be busy.
Oh, I got Hilda to fill in for me.
But can Hilda do your work?
Oh, sure. She can pluck turkeys faster than anybody.
Well, that's a feather in her cap.
Oh, gee, you're so witty, Speedy. What people say in Georgie Jessel, I'll never know.
Gee, Gladys, you'll like the Colemans. Ronnie and Benita are regular guys. Even though they're high class and interested in things like opera and art.
Art? Oh, then maybe
No, Gladys, no. Don't show them your tattoos. Keep your sleeves down, you know. Say, Gladys, would you like a cigarette?
Sure.
Here you are. A Lucky Strike. You know, they're made from that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco.
Listen to the man who knows, I always say.
And you know, Gladys, quality of product is essential to continuing success.
You're telling me.
You know, and another thing, Gladys, Lucky Strikes are so round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Ain't it the truth?
God, Gladys, you look so cute in your costume. So Western.
So do you, Speedy. We were both lucky to find that costume shop open so late.
Yeah, they certainly fixed me up with a complete cowboy outfit. Lasso, 10-gallon hat, and a gun. I can't wait till we get to the Ronald Coleman.
Oh, Ronnie.
What is it, Benita?
Did you close the living room windows before you got into bed?
I did, darling.
Well, if you're ready to go to sleep, I'll turn out the light.
No, just a minute. I'm not quite through reading. You know, Benita, this is really exciting. You must read it when I'm through with it.
Oh, I've already read it. You know, there's one part there where...
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I want to find out myself what Mumbles is going to do. He's an interesting fellow.
You can find out tomorrow. I'm going to turn out the light.
All right, just a moment. There. All right, you can turn it out now. You know, Benita, I know you won't think I'm conceited, but Random Harvest is one of the best pictures ever made.
I agree with you, darling. Now, shut off the projector and let's go to sleep.
All right. Oh, I'm glad we turned in early tonight. Got a lot of retakes to the studio tomorrow morning.
Yes, I know. Good night, Ronnie.
Good night, Dolly. Benita, you're snoring.
Thought that was you. Oh, goodness. It's the front door.
I wonder who in the world could... Well, it's the butler's night off, and there's only one way to find out. Go down and see who it is down there.
Hey, I suppose it's a burglar. What would I do?
I don't know. I've never been in a picture with that particular situation.
It's probably a telegram. I'll put on your robe and go to the door.
Oh, all right. All right. I'm coming. Imagine getting a man out of a nice, warm bed. Yes?
Here we are, partner. Me and the little woman came over the door. Get along, little doggy. Get along, little doggy.
Just a minute. There must
Have a side, you bomber. Put Penny right again. Come on, Gail. Let's go inside and join the fun.
I'm right behind you, Buck.
But Jack, there must be
Tell me,
something
partner,
right.
where's Benita?
Well, she's upstairs.
We'll go get the little woman down here.
Now, look.
All right, tell her, you bomber.
All right. Benita, it's Jack Benny.
That's Benny.
Yes, and he has a gun.
Well, lend him what he wants and send him home.
He doesn't want to borrow anything this time. He thinks we're having a party.
Party?
Not funny, my dear. You should have seen Benny and that girl bursting in here with those silly costumes.
Costumes?
Yes, Benny's dressed up like Roy Rogers.
Oh, what does the girl look like?
Trigger.
Just because you're angry at Jack, I mean, that's no reason to insult the girl. She's probably a pretty little thing. But how old is she?
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere between 35 and 40.
Oh, she's no chicken.
Not with those turkey feathers all over her. Imagine Benny doing a thing like this. I've a good notion to... Yes, that's what I'll do.
Oh, darling, no. We can't stop sending our laundry to him.
I suppose not. He is a master with the starch. Anyway, I think it's absolutely disgraceful
Well, we'll
for
get
him
back
to...
into bed. I'll go downstairs and tell him to leave.
No use, darling. He won't even listen to you. Say, I've a better idea. Get dressed.
What?
Oh, I know what I'm doing, Benita. Get dressed.
Gee, I wish they'd hurry down. They've been upstairs a long time.
They sure have, Speedy. While we're waiting, let's turn on the radio.
Okay. Gee, that's our song they're playing. Let's dance, Snooksy.
It would be an extreme pleasure.
See what memories this brings back. Our first meeting, we were dancing like this, remember? And as we danced, you sang the words into my ear. Sing them again. Go ahead, Gladys, will you?
Okay.
Huh? I love to hear you sing.
Take my heart. I love you. We'll never part. I love you. I always do. It would be you. Oh, come on, dance a little closer, Speedy.
Okay.
What's the matter?
Those feathers are tickling me.
I'm sorry, but I gotta get into my costume at the place where I work.
Well, don't worry. Gee, I wonder why the Colemans aren't down yet.
Ronnie, do you think it was right of us to sneak out the back way and go to a movie?
Yes. And it'll teach Benny a lesson.
Well, what movie are we going to see?
I don't know, and I don't care. Anything to get away from that man.
Well, they're still in our house. How long do you think they'll stay?
I've no idea. But tomorrow, open another airwick.
I don't blame you for being upset. It's amazing the way Jack Benny brings out the worst in people.
How do you mean?
Well, for instance, take that playwright fella, Norman Krasnow.
What about Mr. Krasnow?
Well, usually he's a very brilliant conversationalist. But as soon as he gets around Benny, all he can say is...
Please. People are staring.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here's the theater, Ronnie.
Oh, yes. 2 lows, please.
Here you are, sir. By the way, miss, we didn't notice. What picture are you showing? The Horn Blows at Midnight.
What?
Ronnie! Let go of the girl. It's not her fault. Ronnie!
Gee, sweetie, do you think the Colemans will mind us going into their kitchen and getting something to eat?
No, it's 12:30 and we're hungry.
They sure have a big refrigerator.
Yeah. I wonder what program they want it on. Now, let's see what's inside. Some ham and half a roast beef. Well, how do you like that? Only this morning I sent Rochester over and they told them they were out of eggs. And look, they're lousy with butter, too. Well, say, Gladys, look. Look, there's a turkey.
Please, not on my day off.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Well, let's eat something.
Look, Ronnie, you can see them through our window. They're still in the house.
Yes. I've got to get some sleep. Well, there's only one thing to do, and I'm going to do it. Come on, Benita.
Why, Miss Coleman, you've got the wrong house. You live next door.
We know where we live. Just show us Mr. Benny's bedroom. We've got to get some sleep.
But, Mr. Coleman.
Good night, Manchester.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the rarest privileges anyone can have is to be able to say, I saved a life. By now, we all know what is meant by the word care. C-A-R-E. This nation's help in alleviating the food shortage in Europe has saved thousands of lives. So let's keep on sending our contributions to C-A-R-E. C-A-R-E, CARE, New York. Let's give again and save another life. CARE, C-A-R-E, CARE, New York. Thank you. Now, Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
Quality of product is essential to continuing success.
And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
LSMFT.
Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And fine tobacco is what counts in a cigarette. Remember what happens at the tobacco auctions? Year in, year out, at market after market, independent tobacco experts can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco.
American. Lucky Strike presents The Man Who Knows. Mr. George Webster, tobacco warehouseman of Durham, North Carolina, has spent almost half a century working at tobacco markets in the South. Not long ago, he said,
at auction after auction, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine tobacco. Tobacco that makes 1 grand smoke. I smoked Lucky's myself for 29 years.
So, for your own real, deep-down smoking enjoyment, remember...
LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike.
Yes, next time you buy cigarettes, ask for Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Sunset Boulevard, next stop. Please leave the bus by the rear exit.
Well, this is where I get off, girls.
Mr. Wilson, that was a very funny story you told us about Jack Denny, but a thing like that couldn't really happen.
Oh, yes, it could. That's why I'm taking the bus to work.
Why, Mr. Coleman.
Then his car broke down, and he's using mine.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company. Good health to all from Rexall. It's the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, presented by the makers of Rexall drug products and 10,000 independent Rexall family druggists.
Good evening and happy Easter from 10,000 independent Rexall family druggists. Tonight we have some unusually important news for you. This coming week in 5 different magazines you'll be seeing a double-page advertisement telling you about Rexall's Spring 1-cent sale that starts April 20th and runs through the 24th. This ad will appear in Life, Look, the Saturday Evening Post, Collier's, and the Farm Journal. And it contains 197 different items, all of them regular Rexall branded guaranteed merchandise. And all of them offered to you at 2 for the price of 1 plus a penny. These items and many more are available at any Rexall drugstore in the country. So it's a nationwide chance to buy twice as much for a penny more. Watch for this ad. Check what you need in advance and use the ad as your shopping list. Remember, it appears this coming week in the Farm Journal, Collier's, the Saturday Evening Post, Look, and Life. And when that money-saving date of April 20th rolls around, remember, you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall. And now your Rexall family druggist brings you the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. Written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Sharp and his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. Yesterday, being the day before Easter, Phil insisted on telling the children the story of the Easter Bunny. So let's go back to yesterday and listen in while Phil tells the story in his own inimitable fashion.
And so you see, kids, when you're asleep tonight, the Easter Bunny will drive up with his reindeer, come down the chimney, and put the colored eggs under the tree.
Phil, you have the wrong holiday.
Wrong holiday? Oh, yeah, of course. I got it mixed up with the 4th of July.
That's right, Wonga. Easter is the day when if the turkey comes out and sees his shadow, you know it's 6 weeks until Labor Day.
So that's how they know when Labor Day comes, huh?
Daddy, do you believe in the Easter Bunny?
Well, sure. Me and Frankie see him quite often.
What does he look like?
Well, he has big ears, pink eyes, and a funny nose that twitches.
We know what Uncle Frankie looks like. What about the bunny?
Well, that was the bunny. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, there is a similarity. But you know something, kids? I talk to the bunny all the time.
Oh, Father, please.
What's the matter? Don't you kids believe me? What are you, a couple of clinics or something? Tell you a beautiful story about the Easter Bunny and you don't believe me.
I believe you, Philip, and please go on. You intrigue me.
Well, if it isn't Uncle Wiggily. Pull up a cabbage and sit down. You kids will think differently tomorrow morning. When you see the eggs my friend the rabbit leaves tonight, you'll think differently, all right. Come on, Alice. Let's leave these two little disbelievers here.
Phyllis, we really believe that corny bunny story. It figures. Gee, poor Daddy. He'll be awful disappointed if that rabbit doesn't show up tonight. We've got to do something about it. What can we do? It's simple. All we have to do is find a big rabbit that can talk.
Oh, Sis, you've been popping your bubble gum too hard. Where can we find a talking rabbit?
I know a guy.
Where do we find this guy?
Well, you know Daddy's other radio program?
You mean the one that he stars on for Lucky Strike?
Yes. Well, there's a stooge on that program who can talk like a rabbit.
Oh, I don't think Mr. Benny can talk like a rabbit.
Alice, Mr. Benny is not a stooge. Daddy says he's the best straight man he ever had. Anyway, I'm talking about Mel Blanc. He's the one who plays Bugs Bunny in the Warner Brothers cartoons.
Oh, yes, he's wonderful. Let's call him and see if he'll dress up in a rabbit suit and come over.
Yeah, and will Daddy be surprised? But remember, we got to keep it a secret. We'll tell Mr. Blank to come to the back door so nobody will know that he's here.
Alice, wait a minute. You don't have to tell me. I don't believe in the Easter Bunny, but children should. Gee whiz. I want them to live in their little world of make-believe as long as they can. I want them to have faith in the little sprites and elves who cavort through the fiction of fairy tales.
Thank you, Mother Goose.
Okay.
Now, you know no rabbit's going to show up tonight.
I know no rabbit's going to show up tonight. But tomorrow morning when the kids wake up and they find the colored eggs, and then they'll think that the bunny was here. And that must be Frankie. I'll get it. I told him to get a dozen eggs and some dye on his way over. Oh, hello, Franklin.
Hiya, Curly. Well, I got the stuff you wanted. You get the glasses and nutmeg, and I'll mix it.
Glasses and nutmeg for what? I told you to bring eggs and dye.
Oh, I thought you said eggs and rye.
Bramley, listen to me. I wanted to color eggs for the kids. Now you made a mistake.
Oh, what a pity. Now we will have to make an eggnog.
Yeah, this is going to be a great Easter for the kids. When they get up in the morning and go looking, they'll find eggnogs.
Don't worry. Well, we're going to put them. They ain't going to find them.
Frankie, we ain't mixing eggnogs. Now, we're going to spend the evening coloring eggs.
We're going to do what?
Color eggs. Oh, we'll have loads of fun, Frankie. We'll take all the colored dyes and mix them with water and then put them into bowls. And then we'll take the eggs and dip them in gently, and they'll come out beautiful colors, such as violet, fuchsia, cerise, chartreuse.
Well, la-di-da! Sounds like a racing evening.
All right. Look, Brimley, this is for the kids. I want them to believe in the Easter Bunny. Now, look, you got the wrong stuff, so you'll have to go back to the store and get some dye.
All right, I'll exchange it. I'll take back the rye.
Don't touch that bottle. It has a color all its own. Old fuchsia.
We're going to dye eggs. What do you need the bottle for?
We'll use to crack open the eggs. Now get going.
Okay. While I'm gone, do me a favor and sing.
Why do you want me to sing while you're gone?
Better than having you do it while I'm here.
Well, he wouldn't understand this number anyway. Ain't I got the song of the robin? Ain't I got a roof in the sky? Wonder why my heart keeps a-throbbing. A son of God's country am I. Ain't I got the plains and the mountains? Ain't there treasures mine if I try? One by one my blessings I'm counting and counting. A son of God's country am I. I've got the sun up in the sky, the streams when I am dry, the fruit on the boughs of the tree, the clouds bringing me rain, the fields giving me grain. Thanks to the Maker for me. Ain't I got a loved one who loves me? Kids to make my cares hurry by. I may not be in heaven, but I can't be far away. A son of God's country am I. Sun up in the sky, the streams when I am dry, the fruit on the boughs of the trees, clouds bring me rain, the fields giving me grain. Thanks to the Maker for thee. Ain't I got a loved one who loves me? Kids to make my cares hurry by. I may not be in heaven, but I can't be far away. A son of God's country am I. One of God's children am I.
Did Mel Blanc say he'd be here? He said he'd be here at... That's the back door. It must be him now. I'll let him in. Gee, it's Bugs Bunny. Gosh, Mr. Blanc, you look swell in that rabbit costume. You look like a real bunny.
Thanks.
We asked you to come over because we want you to fool somebody. Do you think you can do it?
Well, I can do it, but I don't know if I ought to. You see, I don't like to fool people.
But you promised us. You're not going to go back on your word, are you?
Of course not. What do you think I am, a Welsh rabbit?
That's all we needed, a hokey hair.
Well, what do you expect from a rabbit? Good jokes? Well, it's kind of hard to pass myself off as an Easter bunny. You know, kids are pretty hip these days. Who is this backward child you want me to fool?
Our daddy. He believes in the Easter bunny.
He believes in the Easter Oh, he's been nibbling on painted ham hocks. Hey, does your mother believe in us, too?
No, so don't let her see you. You sneak into the living room and sit in the corner, and we'll send Daddy in to see you. And don't forget, if Mommy comes in, hide.
Yeah, okay, Doc.
Come on, Phyllis. Look out, Daddy. We have a big surprise for him in the living room. Oh, Daddy.
I'm not talking to you two, you Easter bunny scoffer-atters.
If you go in the living room, we have a big surprise for you.
Oh, a surprise for me? Oh, gee, that's wonderful. Hey, thanks, kids. I'll go right in. Gee, it was nice of the kids to get me something for Easter. Gosh, I hope it's a potted calla lily. I wonder where they put it. I don't see anything. I got to take care of the water on my knee. Keeps gurgling. What's that sound? Seems to be coming from the corner. Oh, it's just the Easter Bunny. I knew he'd show up and... Wait a minute! Now, wait a minute. Get a grip on yourself, Curly. Oh, now I'm seeing rabbits. Now, look at the size of them. I can't understand it. I haven't touched a drop in 2 months. I've been fighting it. I've been fighting it too hard. I'm suffering from battle fatigue. You're not really there, are you, Bunny? Alice, come in here quick, Alice!
Oh, for heaven's sake, what is it, Phil? What's wrong?
Alice, look in the corner. A rabbit with a glandular condition.
What are you talking about? There's nothing in the corner. I don't see anything.
He's right over. He's gone.
Who's gone, dear?
Alice, I saw a 6-foot Easter bunny sitting over there.
I know, dear. He was dressed in white fur, and he had pink eyes and big ears, and he was wearing a high hat.
Don't be funny. He wasn't wearing a high hat. It was a derby. Didn't you see him, Alice?
Of course not, Phil. You're seeing things.
Oh.
Now lie down, dear, and I'll go get you a cup of hot tea.
Tea?
Poor Phil.
What's wrong, Alice?
Oh, it's Phil. Willie, he's seeing 6-foot rabbits. What should I do?
Cut down the water pressure in the shower. It's beating his little brains out.
Willie, this is no joking matter. He's seeing things, and I have to snap him out of it.
Alice, I have a suggestion. If he thinks he's seeing 6-foot rabbits, why don't you get a 6-foot rabbit and actually let him see it?
How's the water pressure in your shower, kid?
No, I mean hire somebody to put on a costume. Do you remember Julius in that Easter play last year? He wore a real rabbit suit, and you couldn't tell him from the real thing.
Oh, I see what you mean. Willie, you call Julius and tell him to come over here in his rabbit suit as fast as he can.
Very well, sis.
Oh, this'll do it. Because if there is a rabbit for Phil to see, then the one he thinks he sees won't be the one he didn't see, because he really will see the one... Oh, I'd better check the water pressure in my shower, too. I'll have to sing my way out of this. We've got to stay with the happy people. Have your fun, live in the land of joy. Stay with the happy people. Face the sun, life is a Christmas toy. Down through the endless ages, tears have been contagious, and take it from me that misery is looking around for company. So stay, stay, stay with the happy people. Don't wrinkle your brow, it's strictly out of style. Just stay with the people who love to wear a smile.
Smile, won't you wear a smile, smile, smile? Won't you wear a smile, smile, smile? Won't you wear a smile? If you want to stay with the happy people,
have your fun, live in the land of joy.
If you want to stay with the happy people,
face the sun, life is a Christmas toy. Down through the endless ages, tears have been contagious, and you can take it from me that misery is looking around for company.
So stay, stay, stay with the happy people.
Don't you wrinkle your brow, it's strictly out of style.
Just stay, stay, stay with the people. Love, love, love all the people who wear a smile.
I called Julius, and he'll be right over in his rabbit suit.
Oh, good. And when he comes, we'll sneak him in the dining room.
Where's Philip?
Oh, he's still in the living room resting. Let's not disturb him because it's been quite an ordeal.
It's the most ridiculous thing that ever happened to me. If the rabbit was sitting in that corner, Alice would have seen him. But she didn't see him, so he couldn't have been there. I'm beginning to feel a little better. For a minute, I thought I was off my trolley. Frank, I'm derailed.
Alice! What are you yelling, Curly? I got the dye. What's the matter with you? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Oh, I just saw worse than that, Remley. Now, take a look in that corner behind me. Please tell me that there's nothing there.
Oh, I don't see any. Oh, hiya, Harvey. I was saying, Curly, I got the dye.
Wait a minute. You mean you not only see him, you know him?
I ought to. I've been seeing him for years.
Oh, this animal belongs to you, huh?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. This one ain't mine. The one I always see is pink and has a long trunk and tusks.
He ain't yours. Where's he come from?
Why don't you ask him?
Oh, sure. I'll just walk up to him and say, "Hey, Rab, where are you from?"
Pasadena, Doc.
Remley's talking.
Don't tell me. I'll make him believe I didn't hear him.
He's talking English.
You're lucky. Mine talks elephant language. Can't understand a word mine says.
Cut that out. Now, look, this is serious. Remley, we got to pull ourselves together. A rabbit can't talk.
But, Curly, we just...
Never mind. Now, just repeat after me. A rabbit can't talk.
A rabbit can't talk.
A rabbit can't talk.
You keep out of it. Remley, did it again.
There's something phony about this rabbit. He sure is a stupid-looking thing. I've never seen such red eyes.
Hey, look who's talking.
Now, just a minute, Rabbit. My red eyes have
All right, Frankie, stop talking to him. Look, Rab, I can't take any more of this. You better disappear and get out of my life, or I'll make a rabbit stew out of you.
Oh, yeah? Don't get tough with me, Doc, or I'll cut off your foot and make a good luck charm out of it.
That does it. Come on, Remley, let's get out of this room.
You don't have to urge me. Curly, I'm throwing away the nutmeg.
Huh?
When we start seeing talking rabbits, it's time to quit.
We didn't really see him. Put that nutmeg back. I tell you, we just imagined it. There's no such thing as a talking rabbit. Now forget about it and don't ever...
Phil, don't come into the dining room a minute. I have a surprise for you.
Coming, honey. Now look, Remley, not a word to Alice about this talking rabbit. What's the surprise, honey?
Oh, a friend of yours is here. Look over in the corner.
Where?
Right over here, Mac.
Oh, no, another one. Frankie, I got another rabbit.
Capitalist. You got two rabbits. All I got is one lousy elephant.
Alice, tell me there's nothing in that corner.
Oh, but there is, honey. This is what you've been seeing. This is your Easter bunny.
Oh, no. It ain't mine. Mine's in the living room. This one's yours.
So she's got one, too. Congratulations, Alice, and welcome to our fold.
Alice, will you listen to me? This can't be the Easter bunny. I was just talking to him in the living room.
He must be an imposter. I'm the Easter bunny.
Oh, yeah? Just wait a minute. Hey, Rab, come in here a minute.
Now, Phil, please. This is the Easter bunny. If you saw another one, it was just a figment of your imagination.
Who you calling a figment, Blondie?
You stay out of it. Boy!
See, I told you there's two of them.
And what do you mean, two of us? I'm the Easter bunny.
Hey, Hugh, Mac, there's only one Easter bunny, and that's mine.
Now, wait a minute, Doc. You're waking the wrong side of the street.
I've had this territory for years. I'm Bugs Bunny.
You're Bugs Bunny? Don't you remember me? I'm Harry Hare.
Harry!
Don't kiss each other.
Where you been keeping yourself, Bud? They called you in Pasadena, but you moved.
Well, I had to, Doc. You see, me and the missus had a nice hutch there, but we got a new landlord who didn't allow children. And that's no place for a rabbit.
All right, Rabbit, you can break it up now.
You stay out of this. How's your wife, Harry?
Haven't you heard? She left me.
For another rabbit?
No. They mechanize her and they use me with the dog track.
Well, at least she's going around in nice circles.
All right, cut. And Julius, you can climb out of that rabbit suit now.
Okay.
What's the idea? What are you trying to pull?
Oh, it's my fault, Phil. I hired Julius to play the Easter Bunny.
Well, what about the other one?
That one I don't know about.
Oh, I guess I better unmask, too. Look, Phil, it's me.
Well, Mel Blanc.
Yeah, the kids hired me to play the Easter Bunny.
Oh, for goodness sakes, what a family. How wild can you get? Hiring two people to play rabbits. Well, thank goodness for one thing, I'm not crazy.
Curly, I hate to tell you this, but a third rabbit just came in.
Look, another one? No, you don't. I'm not going to fall for this again. Hey, buddy, who hired you to play the Easter Bunny?
Nobody hired me.
Well, what's your name? Who are you?
My name is Peter. I'm a real rabbit.
Alice and Phil will be back in just a moment. But right now, here's a lady with a question for our Rexall family druggist.
I want to know more about the ad on Rexall's 1 cent sale.
Well, ma'am, the ad appears this coming week in the Saturday Evening Post, Look, Life, Collier's, and the Farm Journal. And it contains 197 items offered to you during Rexall's 1 cent sale at 2 for the price of 1, plus a penny.
What an opportunity to save.
You said it, ma'am. A 2-for-1 Rexall opportunity. Because remember, these 2 big magazine pages are crammed full of regular Rexall-branded, guaranteed items. Every one of them a twin bargain. Every one of them going at 2 for the price of 1, plus a penny. Now, in front of every item, there's a little square, so you can check what you need in advance.
Why, I can use the ad as a shopping list.
That's exactly what we intend it to be. It's your big chance to stock up for months in advance. Or you can team up with a neighbor or friend and share the savings. Yes, on April 20th, the starting day of Rexall's 1 cent sale, you double your buying power by simply adding a penny.
Where did you say the ad will appear?
In Life, Look, Collier's, the Saturday Evening Post, and the Farm Journal. You must get one of those at your house, so remember to watch for it. And remember also, you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall.
This is Phil again. Folks, the Red Cross belongs to you. You are the Red Cross.
National headquarters in Washington has told us that this year's quota is far undersubscribed. And as we all know, today's cost of food and shelter is higher than ever. So for every dollar you gave before, this year, add a quarter more. Good night and happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody.
This program was produced and directed by Paul Phillips. Included in today's cast were Mel Blanc and Arthur Q. Bryan. The part of Frankie Remley was played by Elliott Lewis, and Julius was played by Walter Tetley. Alice Faye appeared through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox. Watch for the double-page ad on Rexall's 1-cent sale this coming week in Life, Look, Collier's, the Saturday Evening Post, and the Farm Journal. Sale starts April 20th. Mark the date on your calendar. It's your chance to buy 2 top-quality, guaranteed Rexall products for the price of 1 plus a penny.
Look, if they want me to play Love and
No,
Gloom.
they don't want you. They want you not to play Love and Gloom. Mr. Benny killed vaudeville. Today, the murderer returns to the scene of his crime. I have the ad right here in the paper, Mr. Benny. It says the biggest show in town, 14 days only, due to Mr. Benny's prior commitments. You have to put it in there. You're going back with the good humor people. I mean, you have to put it says... It says the biggest show in New York, you will die laughing. Now, the show is over, and I'm still alive. I would like to have my money back. I would like to have my money back. I paid 80
Fred, I'm
cents.
sorry. You paid 80
80
If you
cents.
want your money back, you'll have to go to the box office.
They told me at the box office you're taking it out after every show. They told me I should come to you direct.
Now, wait a minute. 80 cents. The show costs 80 cents.
80 cents.
Now, look what you got for 80 cents. You got the Sportsman Quartet, Marjorie Reynolds, Rochester, Phil Harris, and myself. Now, you did like the Sportsman Quartet.
Very good, very good.
Is that worth 15 cents?
15 cents of anybody's money. 4 for 15
That's
if
right.
you could.
Okay.
4 for 15.
Marjorie Reynolds, is that worth a quarter, Marjorie Reynolds?
Let me see. You drive a hard bargain. A quarter. Yes,
I'll 40 cents.
40 cents. I'll give him 40 cents.
All right, 40 cents.
40 cents.
All right, that's 40 cents. Now, Rochester.
Rochester, very good.
That's
Excellent.
certainly worth 20 cents, isn't it?
Yes, 20 cents.
That's 60 cents.
60 cents.
All right. Now, Phil Harris is worth a dime. Is that right?
8 cents.
All right.
8 cents.
All right. That's 68 cents. That leaves you 12 cents.
12 cents. I would like to have 12 cents.
Look, and remember, this is my last quarter that I got with me. I didn't get paid yet. I got to have dinner. I got to have a sandwich. I got to have something to eat.
You're in here all day.
I'm going to be here all day. I haven't even got money to ride home. Not even on the bus. Nothing.
You can't go home tonight?
No.
Well, how are you going to get home? With your
I don't know.
giveaway about 9 o'clock, you'll never be able to walk it.
Well, if you could just let me have a dime so I could get back on the bus.
The bus?
That's right.
Now, on Sunday morning here at the town hall, the Hay Fever Guild will meet for pollen drill.
Mr. Howard! Mr.
Now, quiet. The acoustics bruise easily here. I may have to dab some minute rub on the walls if these acoustics sort of...
Hello?
Well, sir, they laughed when I said the magician's hair was coming out. They didn't know I was going to pull his rabbit out of the hat. If it isn't, well, you have to make faces with a joke like that. A poor old joke like that, you drag it out, you have to help it as much as you can. What I really should do is hide that monkey on me and let it out on rare occasion. Well, if it isn't, what's her name?
Yes, Mama sent me out to get a golf club.
Well, don't tell me your mother's taking up that rollicking game of meadow badminton.
No, but our baby swallowed a golf ball.
A golf ball, and your mother is...
Mama's going to spank it with a niblick.
Well, you'd better get right home and caddy for your mother. The baby might turn out to be a tough course, you know.
Hello, Portland.
Pardon me, but I never speak to strange men at microphones.
Portland, this is Andre Baruch. Andre's taking Harry Von Zell's place, remember?
Oh, yes. Hello, Andre. Gosh, you were swell last week.
Yes.
Thank you, Portland. Hello, fans.
Hello, Peter.
Optimist in the plural, yes. Not Stuff Van Steeden.
It isn't Benny Goodman.
Well, you could be with the top of your head going into that big apple.
Be careful. You know what you got from Jack Benny Sunday night.
And did I laugh when Jack beat Mr. Allen up on his program?
Say, I nearly passed out when Fred started crying.
Yeah, when I started crying, dubbed in a cry for me. How did Benny beat me up? In effigy. And at that, he had to make me a little boy in his sketch before he could do it.
You can't take it even as a kid.
Well, Benny better not start anything with me, or Jell-O's going to have 8 delicious flavors.
What 8, Fred?
What?
I said, what 8?
Well, I'll just strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, lime, and black and blue.
You shouldn't fight with Jack now. He's pretty weak going on that
He's
diet.
always weak.
Say, I wonder why Paramount made Jack cut down on his food.
Well, he's making the picture for his room and board. And Paramount caught him overdoing the latter. Why, they tell me a waiter walked into the commissary one day with 15 meatballs, and Benny ran pool before the waiter could set down the plate.
Benny's better in pictures than you are for my money.
Oh, yes? Who won the Academy Award last year?
Spencer Tracy.
And I know Spencer Tracy better than Benny does.
So what does that prove?
It proves that if Benny keeps making pictures, he's going to make fresh air fiends out of a lot of theater goers.
You can say what you want, but I thought Jack was swell as Tom Sawyer Sunday.
Tom Sawyer. He played the part like one of the Finn boys.
Huckleberry?
No, Mickey. Beating me up as a kid. Why, I could have met him in a day nursery and licked him with open safety pins at 10 paces.
Now, look, kids, I've made up my mind. If Alan doesn't get here for rehearsal in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to cancel him. I wonder where he can be. He hasn't any friends out here. Maybe, I don't know. Will it be anything else, Mr. Allen?
Yes, waiter. I'll have another cup of coffee.
Mr. Allen, before I took this job here at the Brown Derby, I was a waiter at Lendy's.
Really?
Now, how are things back in New York?
Well, they're about the same, except we have a water shortage, you know.
Oh, yeah, I've been reading about that. Did it affect you personally?
Well, it didn't bother me much at first, but after several weeks, something told me to take a bath.
Hey, that reminds me, Mr. Allen, aren't you supposed to be on Jack Benny's program today?
And how I hate it.
Well, this is none of my business, but how much is Benny going to pay you?
Well, I don't know yet, but my lawyer filed suit against him 2 weeks ago.
Well, wait a minute. You ain't even been on his program yet, and you started suing him 2 weeks ago?
My friend, when you deal with Benny, it's always best to get a running start.
You mean he's really that cheap?
Cheap? Why, Benny is so tight that last summer when he was out on a dude ranch, he kept his money in a wildcat's mouth. And he was snide enough to find a wildcat with tonsillitis so it couldn't swallow. Well, I'd better get going. I have to go to that old man's rehearsal over there. Say, which network is he lousing up now?
Oh, he's at CBS. It's just 2 blocks from here.
Say, on second thought, I think I'll let him stew a little while. Bring me another cup of coffee.
Gee, I can't understand what's keeping Fred.
Oh, Jack, take it easy. He'll be here any minute.
Well, when we go to court, I'm certainly going to bring up about him being late. Oh, Rochester, will you run out and see if you can find Mr. Allen? Maybe he's at Lyman's or at the Derby.
Yes, sir.
See, that Allen is certainly a thoughtless guy. He's been doing things like this to me since the first day I met him.
Jack, I've been with you for so many years, and I never knew how you first met Fred Allen.
Oh, it happened in Boston a long time ago.
Well, tell me about it, Jack.
All right, Don. It was many, many years ago when vaudeville was at its height. I was the headliner at the Metropolitan Theater in Boston. One night after the supper show, I was sitting in my dressing room resting from my 7 encores. I was removing my makeup. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
Mr. Benny, my name is Fred Allen.
Uh-huh.
I'm appearing here at the Metropolitan.
Well, that's funny. I don't remember any Fred Allen on this bill.
I'm in the opening act.
Oh, I thought the opening act was Fink's Mule.
I took my makeup off.
Oh, so you're with Fink's Mule?
Uh-huh. May I sit down?
Yes, but not too close. Now, what can I do for you, young man?
Tell me, Mr. Benny, what do you think of this new entertainment medium that's just starting up, this thing called radio?
Well, I've been giving it a lot of thought. In fact, I already have an idea for a radio program.
You have?
Yes. On my program each week, I'll visit a place called Benny's Boulevard, where I'll start knocking on doors and ask topical questions of 4 people.
4 people?
Yes, a Southern senator, a rube who says howdy, bub, a Bronx housewife, and an Irishman.
Gosh, what a novel idea for radio. You know, that might even replace the street singer.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse me now, Alan. I've got to get dressed for dinner.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Benny, and thank you so much, sir, for your help. I will always treasure the memory of this meeting the greatest comedian in the world, sir. I'm backing out, sir.
Thank you. And that, Don, is how I first met Fred Allen, and why I dislike him so much.
Jack, you mean...
Yes, he stole my radio idea and called it Allen's Alley. Gee, I wonder if Rochester has found him yet.
Say, waiter, I'll have another cup.
Oh, there you are, Mr. Allen. I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, hello, Rochester. Say, I was just getting ready to go over to the studio.
Well, let's hurry, Mr. Benny's awful upset. Come on, I'll show you the shortcut to CBS.
Sure. After all these years, Rochester, you'd think Benny would change. But he's just as bad as when I first met him in Boston many years ago.
I never did hear about how you two first met. Would you tell me about it, Mr. Allen?
I was headlining at the Metropolitan Theater in Boston. And one evening after the supper show, I was sitting in my dressing room removing my makeup. Come in.
Mr. Allen?
Yes?
My name is Jack Benny.
Well, I'm glad you got here. It's the cold water faucet that's leaking.
No, I'm not the plumber. See, I'm appearing here on the vaudeville bill with you.
Jack Benny, Jack. I didn't see your name on the program.
Oh, I'm in the opening act.
But the show opens with a Japanese flash act. Yamaguchi and Takamura. Gosh, they're wonderful. The way they lie on their backs and juggle that big barrel with their feet.
I know. And inside of that barrel, me.
No. Oh,
yes, Mr. Allen. While they're balancing that barrel and kicking it up in the air, I'm curled up inside with my violin, playing Ireland Must Be Heaven, because my mother came from there.
What an inspired touch. I can just hear that music coming out through the bunghole. Well, so much for flattery. Now, what can I do? What can I do for you, son?
Mr. Allen, sir, you've got to help me. I want to be a great comedian like you.
Well, if you're so anxious to earn big money, why don't you turn to radio?
Radio?
Yes, it's a gold mine. Say, I'm working on an idea for a program for myself. Now, my idea is this. I'll be the star, you see. A girl to insult me, a drunken orchestra leader, and a fat announcer.
Well, here's the studio, Mr. Allen. Let's go in.
No, Rochester. I can't go in.
What?
I can't do it, Rochester. I can't let Benny give me a job. I may be a derelict, down and out, but I've still got my pride.
But, Mr. Allen...
No, I'm sorry, Rochester. I just can't do it.
But, Mr. Allen, you haven't got any money. How are you going to live?
Don't worry about me. I'll get along. Maps! Get your maps to the movie star home. James Mason, Ronald Coleman, Mr. and Mrs. Gary Cooper, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Taylor. You can't tell me...
Come in.
Hello, Jack. Hello, Rochester.
Well, Fred Allen. Well, Fred, this is a surprise.
Really?
When did you get in town?
Last night?
Last night. Well, why didn't you call me at my hotel?
You mean you're staying at one that has phones?
Well, no, but there's a candy store in the lobby that takes messages. Oh, I see.
Say, boss, as long as Mr. Allen's in town, why don't you put him on your stage show?
Well, thank you, Rochester, but I couldn't very well go out on a stage now. I haven't got any material.
Well, don't you have any of your old vaudeville routines left?
Well, if I did, I'd be on television.
It would be great if you could join me on my stage show, Fred.
Well, I'd really love to, Jack, but I have to rush back to Hollywood. I've been offered the lead in a new picture.
A new picture?
No Dimension. It's a new thing that's coming out. When it comes out, you don't dimension the whole thing.
So far, that's better than what we've got written here.
But in this picture, Jack, I play the part of a test pilot in Los Angeles.
I see.
The picture is called Breaking the Smog Barrier.
It's a shame you can't stay over, Fred, so we could appear together. It'd be like old times.
Say, Mr. Benny, did you and Mr. Allen once do an act together in vaudeville?
We sure did, Rochester. We had a lot of fun in those days.
Oh, gosh. Remember, Jack, how we'd always celebrate with a big dinner at Lindy's every time we got a job?
Yeah, we'd always get the best. Shrimp cocktail, turtle soup, chef salad.
Filet mignon, stuffed potatoes, strawberry shortcake.
Then I'd top it all off with a big glass of Ovaltine.
Ovaltine?
Well, he wanted to be asleep when the check came.
Those were the good old days. I'll never forget the time we rehearsed and polished our act for weeks. And we went to see Mickey Rockford, the biggest booking agent in New York. Come on, Fred. I think Mr. Rockford's office is down the hall.
Hey, it's crowded in here, Jack.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to talk to the secretary. Miss, we'd like to see Mr. Rockford.
Do you have an appointment?
Appointment? Yes. We're Benny and Allen.
Benny and Allen?
Yeah. Don't you recognize us?
Why? Is there a reward?
You don't understand, girlie. We do a vaudeville act.
Really? Which one throws the fish?
Say, that is clever. you ought to be in show business yourself.
Me in show business?
Yes. I know a magician who saws a woman in half. You'd look better in 2 pieces.
Take it easy, Fred. Look, miss, we don't want to argue. We just like to see our agent, Mr. Rockford.
Well, first I'll need some information. Now, what's the name of your act again?
Alan and Benny.
I thought you said it was Benny and Alan.
Well, at 2 o'clock, our billing changes.
Well, what kind of an act do you do?
Violin, clarinet, and snappy patter.
And where have you played?
Oh, all over.
Well, where?
Well, just tell her the important dates, Jack.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we did a week in Sow Belly, Wyoming. A week in Loose Tooth, Arizona. 3 days in Stagnant Water, New Mexico. And we also played the Palace here in New York.
Sow Belly, Loose Tooth, Stagnant Water, and the Palace. Well, at least you worked your way up.
No, we played the Palace first.
Well, Mr. Rockford's busy right now, so just have a seat and I'll call you.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Allen, I don't mean to be personal, but are you an American citizen?
Yes, I got these slant eyes from pulling off a tight derby.
Come on, Fred, let's sit down.
Yes? Yes. Oh, very well, Mr. Rockford. Oh, boys, Mr. Rockford will see you now.
Good. Come on, Fred, let's go in.
Okay.
Oh, come on in, fellas. Come on in. Close the door. Sit down.
Thank you. Mr. Rockford, I'm Jack Benny. This is Fred Allen.
That's right, Mr. Rockford. Remember, you booked our act in the Palace 7 years ago.
Oh, yes. What business are you in now?
Well, we're still in show business.
Yes, and we thought you could book us.
Please, fellas.
Our new act is sensational. At least give us a chance, Mr. Rockford.
Yes, all we need is one good break, you know.
I gave you a break when I put you in Lowe's Flatbush.
Some break. They opened with Fink's Mules, then Major Doty's Dogs came out, then Manny's Monkeys, then Power's Dancing Elephants.
So what?
Well, by the time we came out, we looked like the last 2 passengers on Noah's Ark.
Well, look, boys, I'm very busy.
Please, Mr. Rockford, just listen to our opening number. It'll only take a second.
All right, but before you... Oh, excuse me. Come in.
Mr. Rockford, here's the 10% commission I owe you for booking my act last week.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. The cute boy. Sonny, what's your name?
Eddie Cantor.
Eddie Cantor?
Potatoes are cheaper. Tomatoes are cheaper. Now's the time to fall in love.
Mr. Rockford, how about listening to our new act?
Oh, all right, if you insist.
Ready with your clarinet, Fred?
Ready.
Okay. 1, 2. Mr. Allen.
What is it, Mr. Benny?
Have you heard that they're making women's bathing suits out of spun glass?
Women's bathing suits out of glass? Well, that's worth looking into.
I'll take it, Mr. Allen.
If you will. You know, Mr. Benny,
Mr. Allen?
I love music.
So do I. Music once saved my uncle's life.
Well, how did music save your uncle's life?
They played the Star-Spangled Banner just as he was sitting in the electric chair. Take it, Mr. Allen.
You don't
have to finish it, you know.
Oh, Mr. Benny.
Yes, Mr. Allen.
I want you to meet my new girl. Her name is Well Enough.
Why do you call your girl Well Enough?
Because I want the boys to leave Well Enough alone. How about the finale, Mr.
In unison? All right. Well, Mr. Rockford, what do you think of it?
Wait till he gets his head out of the drawer.
Maybe he's looking for a contract.
Fellas.
Yes, Mr. Rockford.
To tell you the truth, fellas, I'm confused. The whole act leaves me cold. It's neither fish nor fowl.
Well, that's funny. The last agent we went to thought it was both.
Well, Mr. Rockford, you mean you can't book us anywhere?
Well, actually, I don't have a thing open for a double. Have either of you considered doing a single?
What? And break up the act?
Why, we've been together for years. You can't split Benny and Allen.
It's ridiculous. We're more than just a team. We're partners, friends, buddies. Why, we'd rather starve than let anything come between us.
Well, that's a shame because I've got an opening for a single in Scranton for $15 a week.
I'll take it.
Well, if that's the way you feel, I'll take it for $14 a week, Mr. Rockford.
Fred, you'd steal a job away from your partner, your buddy, your friend?
Some friend. What did you ever do for me?
Why, you puff-eyed ingrate. For years, we've lived off my violin, my brains, my talent, my joke.
And my money. And listen, you miser, as for your violin playing, I have heard cleaner notes from a toothless Russian sipping borscht. You are just lucky you've had me and my clarinet.
Clarinet? The only way you could make a living with that clarinet is if you put a nail on the end of it and went out in the park. Mr. Rockford, rather than let you hire this no-talented wage cutter, I'll take the job for $10 a week.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'll take it for $8.
I'll take it for $5.
Well, I'll take it for $3.
Well, I'll take it for nothing.
So will I.
Well, at that price, I can afford both of you.
Yes, did you hear that? We're working. Fresh! Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes another program, and we'll be with you next week at the same time. And Fred, it was nice reminiscing.
Oh, say, Jack, we forgot to tell them about the time we played in Burning Stump, Arkansas. Remember that insulting audience?
Oh, yes. I remember while we were doing our act, the audience threw pennies on the stage, and you complained to the manager.
And when they stopped, you complained to the manager.
Come on, Fred, let's go out and get a cup of coffee.
Okay,
Good night,
Jack.
folks.
Dennis Days.
Oh, that makes life seem worthwhile. Worlds in your eyes, and the spell of your smile.
Dennis Day is brought to you by Colgate Dental Cream and Luster Cream Shampoo. Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous dream girl hair. The Dennis Day Show with Barbara Eiler, B. Benaderet, John Brown, Charles Dant in the orchestra, and yours truly, Vern Smith, is written by Frank Galen and stars our popular young singer in A Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Here's Dennis to sing Let's Pick Up Where We Left Off.
Let's pick up where we left off and start all over again. And we be the same old sweetheart, just like we were then. Let's pick up where we left off and start a new dream or two. I still get that same old feeling when I think of you. I walk in the park all alone in the dark to our favorite rendezvous. But when I get there, it's so empty and bare, nothing but memories of you. If you give me one more chance, I'm yours till heaven knows when. So let's pick up where we left off and start all over
Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. No other toothpaste does a better job of cleaning teeth than Colgate Dental Cream. For Colgate Dental Cream has a safe polishing agent that cleans your teeth both gently and thoroughly, brings out their natural sparkle and beauty. You can actually see and feel the difference. And scientific tests prove that Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. Yes, actual scientific tests prove conclusively that in 7 out of 10 cases, Colgate instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. Colgate Dental Cream is famous for its wonderful wake-up flavor, too. Nationwide tests of leading toothpastes prove that Colgate's is preferred for flavor over every other brand tested. Yes, preferred over every other brand tested. And no wonder, for Colgate Dental Cream is the result of constant effort to produce the finest toothpaste in the world today. For cleaning teeth, for flavor, for sweetening breath. So see if you don't agree with the millions who have made Colgate Dental Cream America's favorite toothpaste. Try Colgate Dental Cream to bring out the natural sparkle and beauty of your teeth. For a wake-up flavor you'll thoroughly enjoy. And always use Colgate Dental Cream after you eat and before every date to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. Well, our young hero, Dennis Day, even more so than most of us at this time of year, is face to face with a dilemma of Christmas presents. There are 3 questions confronting him. What should he buy? Who should he buy it for? And for heaven's sake, what with? In particular, he's concerned about a gift for the head of the Anderson household, his present landlady and prospective mother-in-law. And since this requires thinking, he's wasted no time and gone directly to his girlfriend Mildred for help.
A present for Mother? Well, you don't have to get her anything too grand, Dennis. Just buy her something you can afford.
That's the trouble. They don't sell them that cheap.
Don't sell what?
Name it, and they don't sell them that cheap.
But, Dennis, you must have some money. You've been saving up out of your salary for months.
Yeah, I know, but an emergency came up Monday afternoon that wiped out half of my savings.
An emergency?
Yeah, I got a little hungry and bought myself a hamburger.
Oh, golly. Well, you'll simply have to do the best you can, then. After all, it isn't the gift so much, it's the spirit behind it that counts.
Well, I wish your mother knew that. I didn't like her suggestion at all.
The suggestion? You mean you asked Mother and she told you what to get?
Sure.
What?
Lost.
Oh, I'm sure she didn't mean it. It's just that she's been so preoccupied lately with all those meetings and her campaign and the speech she's... Say.
Huh?
Listen. You know about Mother being an SOW, don't you?
Mildred, I might think it, but I'd never say it.
Oh, silly. SOW stands for Socialites of Weaverville. It's the club she belongs to.
Oh.
And she's running for president. Look, she's worried to death about the campaign speech she'll have to make. If you could write her one that would get her elected...
Mildred, what are you saying?
I'm saying that would be the nicest Christmas present you could possibly give her.
But a speech,
Dennis, there's nothing to it. All you have to do is put words in my mother's mouth.
Boy, that's really carrying coals to Newcastle.
But, Dennis, I know you can do it. You write very well, and after she reads what... Oh, good morning, Mother.
Good morning, Mildred. Dennis.
Good morning, Mrs. Anderson.
Oh, Mother, Dennis has the most wonderful surprise for you. We can't tell you what it is yet, but it's going to make you the happiest person in the world.
Why, Dennis, you darling. But where on earth did you find a vacancy?
Oh, I'm not moving, Mrs. Anderson.
Oh, no, this is something you'll really love, Mother. And I think Dennis realizes now how important it is. Don't you, Dennis?
I'll see you later, Mildred.
Well, Mother, how's your campaign going?
Oh, just perfectly, Mildred. Do you know I'm getting so confident I've even bought myself a gavel.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I've been practicing with it all week, banging it on the bureau and telling your father he's out of order.
Well, I'm certainly glad you're so hopeful.
Oh, I don't see how I can lose now. Mrs. Allsburg has decided to back me, you know.
The mayor's wife? Oh, that's marvelous.
Yes, she's giving a tea for me tomorrow. And that isn't all. She's invited Arthur Phillips, the famous author.
Oh, that's simply terrific. That means everyone will be there.
Yes, and he'll be introduced as my protege. I just couldn't choose a better time to make my campaign speech. Oh, if I only had it written.
Oh, don't worry, Mother. It will be. Maybe someone will help you with it.
What? Who?
Oh, someone who knows exactly how you speak.
It isn't your father, is it? Remember, I'm addressing ladies.
You just forget about it and concentrate on getting more votes than Mrs. Hastings.
Yes. Oh, won't it be wonderful if I'm elected? Me, your little mother, the biggest SOW in the whole town.
Mildred, I've got it. It's all done.
The speech?
Yeah, I went down to the public library and stayed up all night writing it.
And it's really good?
Oh, it's magnificent. It's a speech that Washington or Lincoln or Jefferson might have delivered. In fact, they did.
What do you mean?
Well, Mildred, I couldn't trust my own brains for this. There was too much at stake, so I borrowed things from all the great speeches of history.
Why, Dennis, that's marvelous. What an idea.
Yeah, and look who it occurred to. You never know, huh?
Oh, it's wonderful. Mother's got to hear it right away. Oh, Mother, would you come into the living room a minute?
What is it, Mildred?
Mother, get ready for your big surprise. Your campaign speech is all written for you. Dennis wrote it.
Dennis? Dennis Day wrote... Mildred, I'm your own mother. Blood must be thicker than this.
Wait, Mother. It's all done and it's marvelous. At least give him a chance to read it to you.
Oh, very well. Go ahead, Dennis. Only it better be good.
Oh, it is, Mrs. Anderson. Listen, here's the way it starts out. 87 years ago, when I was born,
What?
Dennis, you can't say that. That makes Mother 87 years old.
But it's such a beautiful phrase. I hate to lose it just because of a year or two.
Well, go ahead with the rest of it. We'll change that later.
Okay. Ladies, we are met today upon this battlefield.
Battlefield? Young man, this is a meeting of my women's club.
Yes, ma'am, but I was home the last time you held a meeting here, and from what I heard...
Never mind what you heard.
Dennis, maybe you better skip to the body of the speech.
Well, all right. That's the part where you state your platform. In quick succession, you call for the abolition of slavery, support the Monroe Doctrine, and remember the Alamo.
That's my platform, is it?
Yes, ma'am. Then you hit him with your campaign slogan.
My campaign slogan?
Yeah. Tippecanoe and Anderson, too.
It'll be interesting to see what they hit me with.
Is that the end of the speech, Dennis?
Oh, no. She finishes up by promising him a chicken in every pot.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then you throw in a little joke like speakers always do. You say, and speaking of a chicken in every pot, I noticed that each of you little chickens sure has a little...
Dennis!
Well, what's the matter? Is it off color?
Dennis, I think you better get to the conclusion.
Oh, yeah. Wait till you hear that. Boy, is it dramatic. She cries out, I am dying, Egypt, dying. And with that, she pulls out an adder and lets it bite her.
I let an adder bite me?
Oh, not a real adder, of course. That might sting. You can have a worm stuck down your dress.
And that's the speech you've written for me.
Why, Mrs. Anderson, you don't like it. It's no use denying it. I can see it in your face.
I thought you might. It needs work, Dennis. I suggest you go someplace and work on it.
Go someplace?
Yes. Like outer Mongolia. And don't come back.
Gee whiz. Yesterday she despised me, and today our relationship has deteriorated.
Now, don't you worry, Dennis. From what she told me, she'll get the presidency even without your campaign speech.
Well, I'd better get her some kind of Christmas present to square myself. Looks like I'll have to brace Mr. Willoughby again for an advance. Gee, I wish you were coming along.
Me? What for?
Well, you know my boss. While I'm bracing him, who's going to brace me? Morning, Mr. Willoughby.
Good morning, Dennis.
Oh, Mr. Willoughby, there's something I got to talk to you about. You see, it's this way.
Business has been terrible. This is the worst month in 10 years. Can't pay the rent. On the verge of bankruptcy. If something doesn't happen, we'll have to close up the store.
Huh?
Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, I didn't know it, but I was through.
Well, I wasn't kidding, Dennis. I've never seen our business as bad as it is. And I don't understand why, either.
I think it's because we're getting fewer customers and they don't buy as much. That sort of thing is bound to be felt, you know.
By George, you've got something there, my boy. And I can't wait till you take it away. Anyway, the fact remains that I can't make ends meet anymore, and I've cut my overhead to the bone.
I know.
In fact, the only thing I haven't cut is your salary. Say!
Please, Mr. Willoughby, let's not tamper with the bone.
Well, all right. What this store really needs is a publicity angle. Something to get us talked about all over town. Anything.
Anything?
Well, sure. I think it was Jimmy Walker who said, I don't care what people say about me just so they say something. That's publicity.
Oh, you just want people to talk about the store, huh?
Exactly. The more people talk about you, the surer they are to think of you when they want to buy something. If you want to earn a raise, Dennis, start thinking up some publicity angle for us.
A raise? Boy, I'll get my brain working on it right away.
I was afraid that's what you'd call on. Well, get up front. I'm going to work on the book.
Yes, sir. Gee, what a funny business. Now, if I could only think of something. Oh, good morning, madam. May I? Oh, hello, Mrs. Alsberg. How's the mayor this morning?
He's fine, thank you. I'd like a jar of skin softener, please. And a dozen...
Gosh, Mrs. Alsberg, I just got a wonderful idea. Would you do something for me?
What?
Well, would you mind talking to people all over town about Willoughby's? You know, how nice it is to trade here and how courteous we are to customers and all that?
But why on earth should I?
Well, I'll bet you'd tell people about it if we insulted you.
Indeed I would.
Oh, I see.
Now, would you kindly take my order, please?
What's the hurry, Fatso? Keep your bloomers on. You heard me. How could you miss with ears that size?
This is fantastic. I've never been insulted like this before in my life.
Well, that's your fault for not getting in here more often, Broadbeam.
I warn you, young man, one more impertinence and I shall walk out of this store.
Now we're getting somewhere. Come on, Fatso. What is it you wanted?
I told you I wanted something to soften my skin.
Have you tried a pneumatic drill?
This time you've done it, young man.
I have, huh? So what are you going to do about it, Flappy Lips? Blab it all over town?
I certainly am.
Atta girl. I knew I couldn't have picked a better blabberer.
I'm going to tell this to every member of my club.
Atta girl.
And particularly, I'm going to tell it to Mrs. Anderson.
Atta girl. Pardon me, could I have a clarification on that?
You live at her house, and if you're the kind of person with whom she associates, I shall withdraw my support of her for president of the club.
For president? Mrs. Osberg, I feel that I have made a series of nasty blunders.
Oh, you do you?
Yes, ma'am. You're a dreamboat, Mrs. Osberg. I love you. I want you in my harbor. Please sail into my... And so, as the sun slowly sinks in the west, we say farewell to Dennis Day.
Oh, Dennis, how could you? What'll Mother do?
I don't know. I just know who she'll do it to.
Now, Mrs. Osberg's sure to support Mother's opponent, that Mrs. Hastings. She'll make her the guest of honor at that tea tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
And now that Ryder will be Mrs. Hastings' protege, and he'll... Wait.
Now what?
What if this Mr. Phillips, the writer, turned out to be just an awful person? Someone who could lose the election for Mrs. Hastings instead of winning it for her. You follow me?
No, the road's too rough, but keep going.
Don't you see? You're going to take Mr. Phillips' place at the tea. None of the girls have ever seen him, and I'll fix you up so no one will recognize you.
Yeah, but what about the real Mr. Phillips?
Well, that's the easy part. Listen, your friend Bill Harding is the desk clerk down at the Weaverville Hotel where Mr. Phillips has his reservation.
Uh-huh.
Now, here's what you do. You ask Bill if he'll do you a little favor. And when
Gee, it sure was nice of Bill to let me take his place behind the desk. But if that Mr. Phillips doesn't show up soon,
well, Dennis, look. I'll bet that's him coming across the foyer now.
At last. Boy, I sure hope this works.
Oh, it's just got to, Dennis. I'll duck into the office here. Good luck.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Can I help you, sir?
My name is Arthur Phillips of New York City.
Yes, Mr. Phillips. We've been expecting you. How are you, sir?
My train was an hour late. I'm due at a tea. I'd like a room and in a hurry, please.
Mr. Phillips, when I ask someone how they are, they generally tell me.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm fine, just fine.
Who cares?
Look, young man, I'd like to register, if I may.
Aren't you going to ask me how I am?
Very well. How are you?
I've got an ulcer.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, if you don't mind, I've just got in. I'm very tired. I'd like my room.
What room is that?
The room I reserved here by wire.
Oh, that's gone.
You mean you rented it to someone else?
Oh, I had to. I couldn't help myself.
Why not?
I was bribed.
I see. And now you want me to bribe you, too, huh?
Well, we're full up to the 4th floor, but I suppose you could try to bribe me for one on the 5th floor if you want to.
All right, I'll bribe you for a room on the 5th floor.
What? I wouldn't take it.
Why not?
We've got no 5th floor.
Now, look here, my man. This hotel wired me confirming my reservation. And I demand the room! You understand?
That's the way you feel. We do have one room left, 306.
Is it a nice room?
Sure. Here's the key and the flit gun.
Flit gun? What's that for?
Well, the room is vacant, but not entirely unoccupied.
Oh, heavens, has this room got a bath?
No, but the bathroom is pretty convenient. Just walk to your right as you leave the room.
How far?
Just to the first traffic light.
The first traffic light?
Well, from there, you can't miss it. Just turn right again. It's the next filling station on your left.
Why, this is ridiculous.
Oh, but you'll love the room. It's very attractive. And if you like to lie in bed and read the Police Gazette, it's...
I don't.
Oh, too bad. That's what the walls are papered with.
What?
And it's nice and cozy and warm, too. The chimney for the incinerator's right outside your window.
Young man, you think I'm going to stay in a flea bag like this? You're very much mistaken. I'm taking the next train back to New York.
That's the way to talk. You had me a little worried for a while.
Just do one last favor for me. Call up those SOWs and tell them they'll have to wallow around without me. Goodbye.
Everything. You were just wonderful.
Yeah, I think I've hit a hot streak. I sure hope it doesn't cool before that tea.
I've missed
Alsberg, won't you reconsider? After all, what Dennis Day does can hardly be considered...
Mrs. Anderson, please. I've made up my mind to support Elizabeth Hastings, and that's final. Oh, Mrs. Hastings, that must be Mr. Phillips.
Oh, my author, my own dear author at last. Now, don't forget, ladies, the gentleman you're about to meet is typical of the distinguished friends I shall introduce you to if I'm elected president.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Mr. Phillips. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. How do you do?
Howdy, babe.
Thank you. Won't you come in? I've told these other ladies that you and I are very old personal friends, Mr. Phillips. I hope you don't mind, but this election could mean my name in the social register.
Shucks, kiddo, as the girdle said to the fat lady, if you can get it in, I won't spread it around.
Yes, I'm sure. And now I do want you to meet my club members. Oh, Mrs. Alsberg, this is Mr. Phillips.
Oh, Mr. Phillips, this is the thrill of my life. I can't tell you how delighted I am to meet you.
Well, you ain't a bad-looking hunk of stuff yourself, Aldy.
Why, Mr. Phillips. So, Mr. Phillips is typical of your old friends, is he, Mrs. Hastings?
Why,
Oh, sure. Me and Liz been pals ever since our old man used to run that big saloon on 47th Street, eh?
What? Why, he never...
Come off it, Liz. Ladies, you should have seen this kid put it away when she was a little tyke. She used to holler bottoms up so often she began walking around on her hands.
Really? I knew you were...
Hey, what a looker, boy. Remember how proud the old man was when you got into the chorus at Minsky's, Liz? Boy, she really had a shape once. Yes, sirree, the kid was really stacked. Never know it the way she's come unfiled, huh?
Now, really, Mr. Phillips, ladies, this
and
man
sing. Oh, what a voice. Come on, Liz, let's give him one of those old songs of yours. Hey, come on.
Why, I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, Liz. How about that cute little thing you used to do called She Thought They Drive in the Park, but instead they parked in the drive. Or say, how about that little ballad you introduced, Liz, called We Kissed on the Roof Neath the Moon's Soft Glare Through the Trap of Your Father's Long Underwear.
Well, Mrs. Hastings, is that the kind of woman we want for our president, ladies? I, for one, am leaving. I'm not...
No, really, ladies, honestly, this man...
Well, I guess I gotta be shoving off, too. Say, Liz, how about you and me getting together real soon down at the tattoo parlor and talk over old times? Because to spend one night with you in our rendezvous and reminisce with you, that's my desire. A little blunted by time, but still mighty powerful. Well, good night, girl.
Dennis, you darling, you dear, sweet, wonderful boy, you've won the election for me.
Why,
Mrs. Anderson, gosh, you knew who I was all the time.
Oh, yes. That shirt you put over your sweatshirt has a button missing, and every once in a while I could see Mickey Mouse staring at me.
Gee, well, it worked anyway.
I know. That voice you use, that old man's voice, and when you sang...
Yeah. To meet where gypsies play down in that dim cafe and dance till break of day. Oh, that's my desire.
Oh, you're Valterini tonight, Daddy.
I'm a regular.
Dennis Day will be back in just 1 minute to sing Mickey. But first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl, hair that gleams and glistens from a luster cream shampoo. Hair bright, washed right, easy to do and dress right. hair that's soft and silky from a Luster Cream shampoo.
Yes, Luster Cream Shampoo leaves hair with new three-way loveliness. Fragrantly clean, glistening with sheen, soft and easy to manage. Be a dream girl, a lovely Luster Cream girl.
Dream girl, beautiful Luster Cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a Luster Cream shampoo.
With Charles Dand in the orchestra, Dennis returns to our microphone to sing the old favorite and his latest RCA Victor recording, Mickey.
Pretty Mickey, with your hair of raven hue, in your smiling, soul beguiling, there's a bit of Killarney, bit of the Blarney too. Childhood in the wildwood, like a mountain flower you grew. Pretty Mickey, can you blame anyone for falling in love with you? Oh, what a shame they gave you the name of Mickey. Where is the rose that grows in repose like you? Lucky the birds and the bees you'd meet, lucky the moth and the violet sweet, when they were trod by your dear little feet, there in the morning dew. How can you blame me when I find weary to change your name to mine? Pretty Mickey, with your hair of raven hue, and your smiling so beguiling, there's a bit of Killarney, bit of the Blarney too. Childhood in the wildwood, like a mountain flower you grew. Pretty Mickey, can you blame anyone for falling in love with you?
Good night, everybody.
Remember, doctors prove the Palmolive plan brings 2 out of 3 women lovelier complexions in 14 days. And this beauty plan with Palmolive soap was tested on women with all types of skin. Dry, oily, even skin that was not clear. Yes, 36 doctors proved the 14-day Palmolive plan improves all types of skin, brings fresher, brighter, younger-looking complexions. So get Palmolive soap and start your 14-day Palmolive plan now. This is Vern Smith reminding you that Dennis Day returns again next week, same time, same station, for the special Christmas Eve show, The Boys.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The Voice of America presents The Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Colman.
Good evening, this is Ronald Colman.
And Benita Colman.
Inviting you to join us again on the campus of Ivy College. And now,
surround us here today.
Welcome again to Ivy College, that is, in the town of Ivy, USA. This evening, Dr. William Todhunter Hall is attending a Board of Governors meeting, leaving his wife Victoria to preside at number 1 Faculty Row. It's still early, and Mrs. Hall has found the right book and the right chair and is well prepared to spend the next couple of hours in gainful solitude when suddenly she hears the front doorknob turn, the door slowly open and close, and footsteps approach the living room.
Who's there?
Don't make no trouble, sister. This is an inside job.
Oh, well, come right inside. You'll find the petty cash in the cookie jar in the kitchen and the silvers in the sideboard.
Pardon me, Vicky, but in the interest of accuracy, I must inform you that there is no petty cash in the cookie jar.
What?
I raided it this morning. I couldn't bear the pathetic spectacle of Professor Quincannon's 3 children staring hungrily at a passing ice cream wagon.
Well, that was very sweet of you. But what happened tonight? I didn't expect you for at least another hour.
And there is no silver in the sideboard either. Mrs. Quincannon borrowed it.
Yeah, but what did the Board of Governors...
It seems that a caravan of relatives from Smackover, Arkansas, have bivouacked for the night in the professor's backyard. They were putting up the tents as I passed by, and the fragrance of toasted marshmallows over the open campfire was overpowering.
Yes, but what is the Board of Governors...
You know, I am sometimes convinced that the seat of memory lies in the olfactory organs.
What do you mean, the olfactory organs? It's a ridiculous idea. Now, organs in factories, even in old factories, may be good psychologically and increase production, but who
Victoria...
knows where it will all end? Organs, brass bands, square dancing, people leaving their machines to form quartets in corners.
Victoria...
The organist playing the can in the bottling department. Roll out the bottle in the in the canning department. Keep those bottles quiet in the barrel department. It's confusion.
Victoria.
It's chaos.
Mrs.
I suppose
Hall.
there might be a little swing on the swing shift, but excuse me. What did you say?
I said olfactory, from the Latin olfactus, meaning the sense of smell.
What about it?
Well, I haven't the slightest idea what I started... Oh, yes. I was about to say that to me, at least, certain smells have the power of summoning up nostalgic images. The spicy cinnamon scent of carnations, for instance, makes me think of the day we were married.
You had one in your buttonhole.
Yes, a white one. Then there's the lovely smell of new-mown lawn.
Oh, I know. Our first day in this house, they just cut the grass.
Yes, and the gentle and melancholy fragrance of burning leaves. The pre-football game bonfires the first autumn you were with me here at Ivy. Then there is peppermint. It always reminds me of the little sweet shop in Yorkshire where we took refuge from the rain.
Yes. And where you made the remark about Yorkshire pudding, the triumph of mind over batter.
Yes.
Toddy, do all these fragrances remind you of something we did together?
You know, it hadn't occurred to me, but I believe they do. Good heavens, it's as if I'd been born the day we met, with no previous existence. I must have spent my youth with a perpetual head cold.
Well, now that you've recovered, tell me what happened at the board meeting tonight, which brought you home so early and so chipperly.
Mr. Wellman's out of town, in Chicago on business. So the agenda was greatly expedited by his absence, and the motion for adjournment was reached in record-breaking time. But you know, we all missed Mr. Wellman.
Now, that breaks another record.
Yes, he's been gone almost a week, and he hasn't telephoned once to ask me what I'm doing, why I am doing it, and please stop immediately. Well, this is out of character for Mr. Wellman. It mystifies me. Although I suppose
Telephone. It's probably the Quincannons wanting to know if they can borrow a sleeping bag. Do we have one?
Well, I don't think so, but if we did, they'd be welcome to it. My policy is to let sleeping bags lie.
Well, ask a peculiar question and get an exotic answer, I always say.
Let me lift the receiver, dear. You've been working hard all day.
I have?
Oh, haven't you?
No.
Oh, good. Save your strength. We have a chess game to finish tonight. Dr. Hall speaking.
I know, Dr. Hall. This is Clarence Wellman.
Well, hello, Mr. Wellman.
You were supposed to have a board meeting tonight. Why didn't you?
Well, we did have a board meeting tonight.
Well, how could you? I called the board office. Nobody answered. And if you did, what'd you do?
You're through too early.
Well, we disposed of all the business on the agenda.
Oh, you did? What'd you do about the vacant post in the psychology department?
The board agreed with your proposal that we leave it unfilled for the time being, Mr. Wellman.
My proposal? When did I ever? I never. Oh, yes. I remember. I did. But now I don't. I want to talk to you about that, Dr. Hall, but this is long business. Army distance. Very expensive. Listen as fast as you can. Are you listening, Dr. Hall?
Yes, right here, Mr. Wellman, hanging on your every nickel.
Well, then, we're arriving tomorrow at 6:30.
We?
Of course, we. Spatzman will be with me.
What will be with you?
Spatzman. Dr. Oscar Spatzman. What do you think of that?
Well, I don't believe I ever...
Please make all necessary arrangements. Over 3 minutes. Goodbye.
Vicky, is there something I should know about a certain Spatzman?
Of course. It's a German pancake we used to eat at that dreamy place on 14th. Why? Is Mr. Wellman going into the pancake business? He must have heard they have a rapid turnover.
No, this is a Dr. Spatzman. Mr. Wellman said, and I quote, Dr. Oscar Spatzman will be with me. Please make all necessary arrangements. Well, what arrangements? For a doctor? Anesthesia? Nurses? Who's being operated on? Shall I get into a hospital gown? One of those monstrous garments?
Here we go again.
Made with fibers of the prickly pear and cut by a mad tailor. With the delusion that the human race is made up of midgets who spend their days with spinal column exposed, comparing kneecaps and wandering down hospitals. And what did you think of Dr. Spatzman, Mr. Merriweather? Sort of what? Cute. Good heavens. What kind of a doctor is he? Oh, psychology. Well, thank you for calling, Charles. Yes, I'll tell her. Goodbye.
Tell me what?
That he's mad about you and that any time you get tired of me, just set fire to the house and he'll be here on the first hook and ladder.
How about Dr. Spatzman?
Well, Dr. Spatzman has arrived with Mr. Wellman, who is all smiles and full of old Heidelberg courtesies. Mr. Merriweather says Dr. Spatzman speaks some 25 languages and has 32 degrees.
You should try for 64. He's freezing.
No, he's basking in the warmth of Mr. Wellman's approval. He's obviously Clarence's candidate for the vacancy in our psychology department. Oscar Spatzman, psychology. I should be able to place him, Vicky.
Lie down on the couch. It might help you to remember. Now, what's the first thing that comes into your mind?
German pancakes. That's all I can think of. However, I believe the little bird will tell us himself.
What little bird?
Spatzman, which is German for sparrows.
Oh.
So let's welcome this Dr. Sparrow who has dropped into Ivy from out of the blue. For as Hamlet said, there's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all.
The Voice of America is bringing you this rebroadcast presentation of The Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Colman.
And now to return to The Halls of Ivy. It's the next afternoon, and Dr. and Mrs. Hall are expectantly awaiting the arrival of Mr. Wellman and his celebrated guest, Dr. Oscar Spatzman.
Did Mr. Wellman give you any more of a dossier on his protege?
No, my sweet, at this point, Mr. Wellman is completely incoherent. All he can say is that everything is gemütlich and that I will be delighted with Dr. Spatzman's Weltanschauung.
Isn't it a shame our only recording of the Blue Danube's broken? I have a feeling that this is an occasion which calls for suitable background music.
And I have a feeling that I'd be much happier if I could identify Dr. Spatzman.
Yeah.
I've checked with several members of the department, and they don't seem to know him either. But then, psychologists are specialists and are apt to confine themselves to their own schools. You can't imagine, for instance, any self-respecting Freudian speaking politely to a Jungite.
Even if the Jungite was gemütlichkeit?
And yet, despite their violent differences in theory, there is actually a good deal of agreement on basic conclusions.
Well, I have only one theory. If you have anything on your mind, get rid of it. You may wind up with an empty mind, but you won't have ulcers.
Well, very good, Vicky, but psychologists are only concerned with what you have on your mind.
Well, how do they know what I have in my mind?
Well, you tell them.
Well, how can I tell them if I don't know?
But you do know. You just don't know you know.
Yeah, but if I don't know I know, how can I get them to tell me?
That's psychology.
I'm afraid I'd be a very dull subject for a psychologist. Every time I lie down on the couch, I fall asleep.
Well, my darling, you are that rare person who is completely uncomplicated and possesses a delightful equanimity of spirit and a joyous consonance with reality.
Well, thank you very much, Doctor.
Anytime, dear.
Yeah, but leave me a couple of my little neuroses, though. There are one or two that are pets of mine, and every once in a while I like to take them out of my mental closet and dust them off and give them a pat on the head and put them back where they came from.
That's exactly my point. You have, my dear.
Well, whatever I have, I hope it'll keep, because I think that's one of my big neuroses at the door now.
Mr. Wellman is not a neurosis, Vicky. He's just a simple anxiety, but I'd better answer the door before he becomes complicated.
But don't bother, darling. Louise has got it.
Greetings, Dr. Hall.
Ah, Mr. Wellman, come in.
Good afternoon to you, Mrs. Hall.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Wellman.
Yes, it is. Yes, it certainly is. Well, here we are. Dr. Hall, Mrs. Hall, it is my great privilege to present to you a man who, an international scholar, which the distinguished psychologist, Dr. Oscar Spatzman.
How you do, Dr. Spatzman?
Freut mich sehr, gnädige Frau. One of my so cherished memories of London, an evening in the theater illuminated by the radiance of Fräulein Cromwell.
Really? Oh, nice. What play was that, Dr. Spatzman?
Play? The play was nothing. It was only the leading lady.
Oh, well.
May I kiss your hand, madame?
Thank you.
And Herr Dr. Hall. I consider it a great honor.
Well, thank you.
I've been an admirer of yours for years. Your essay on the crisis in modern-day education is, how shall I say it, classicus, a magnum opus.
Well, thank you. It doesn't really merit that.
You see, Dr. Hall, what did I tell you? Old world, continental. This is an occasion, a red letter and historic. We shall all remember the day Dr. Spatzman crossed our threshold. Please, Mr. Wellman, you're flattering.
No, you're much too modest, Spatzman. For a man who's been everywhere, taught everywhere, Heidelberg, Stuttgart, Zurich, Vienna, Baden.
Please, only 2 Baden. Baden.
But I thought that was a health resort, a spa.
Yes, and it would be a fine location for a psychologist.
Yeah. We had a clinic there. Kratzig, Zeckenzauer und Spatzen.
Kratzig, not Otto Kratzig.
You know him?
Well, naturally, I've heard of the great Dr. Kratzig. Unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity
Who's talking about Kratzig? Dr. Hall, wait until you hear about Dr. Spatzman's merry-go-round. It upsets all the, from the ground up. That is, go on, Doctor. Tell them about it.
A merry-go-round at Baden.
Did you have a carnival there as well as a clinic?
Very good, Mrs. Hall. If we had more carnival in our life, we would have less clinic, nicht wahr? But Mr. Wellman is referring to the Spatzman psychology theory, by which I mean the mind is a kind of merry-go-round, a carousel.
Carousel, Spatzman, carousel.
Yes, thank you. A carousel. A carousel with mirrors reflecting the world above.
Well, that's a novel portrait of the mind. And I suppose whenever you have a good idea, it's like catching the brass ring.
Yeah. Also, it is like a telephone exchange. like a telephone exchange receiving licht reflexes, that is, light reflexes, and then sometimes it is die Trübung des Meerwassers, muddy ocean waters, which reflect on the superganglia. But all these are mere details of my basic theory of Einfühlung and Zeitgeist.
In feeling and world spirit, am I correct?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm dizzy from riding on the merry-go-round, but when did Einfühlung and Zeitgeist get on?
Mrs. Hall, this is no time for jokes.
Oh, it is no joke, Mr. Wellman. It is brilliant. Simply brilliant. The carousel must stop for the Einfühlung, or we have no Zeitgeist. As we say in Latin, vobistulis, vobistular.
Yeah. Vobistulis, vobistular.
My very word. But that's all right. I was through with them anyway.
Well, die Umhüllungstrikot Cerebrospinalflüssigkeit in every living marine culture is sometimes mixed with microscopic exercitio spiritualia militaria, which layman simply calls a headache.
Nothing that any silly aspirin couldn't handle.
Yeah. Magna est veritas et prevalebit. Or as the French put it, onis swaki malitans, or in Old Greek, homeda rais anthropos ou paidoitai.
Well, the Greeks seem to have had more than one word for it, whatever it is.
I suppose a rough translation of that phrase would be that unless a man has been pushed around a bit, he is not educated. Am I right, Doctor?
Yeah, but I did not realize you were a Greek scholar, Dr. Hall.
Oh, I'm not a qualified polylinguist such as yourself, but I picked up a phrase or two here and there.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Hello? Oh, yes, he's here. It's for you, Mr. Wellman.
Thank you. Yes, what is it? Oh, I thought I told you. Well, he did? Well, tell him I'll be right over.
Oh, you have to leave, Mr. Wellman?
Yes, the way they depend on me the minute I step out, everything goes... Well, if you'll all excuse...
I will come with you, Mr. Wellman.
No, you stay here. Talk, get acquainted. Dr. Hall, will you see me to the door?
Why, of course, Mr. Wellman.
Auf Wiedersehen, Peter. Auf Wiedersehen, Oscar. Goodbye, Mrs. Hall.
Goodbye, Mr. Wellman. And don't you worry about Dr. Spatzman. We'll take good care of him for you.
Impressive, isn't he, Dr. Hall?
Well, Mr. Wellman, I must confess...
I ran into him in Chicago. He seemed to take a liking to me right away. Now, this is what I suggest you do. Tell him about the opening in the psychology department next year. But don't offer him too much money. Charm him, Dr. Hall, charm him. A lot depends on how you handle him.
Oh, yes, Mr. Wellman. A lot depends on how I handle him.
So you see, Dr. Hall, it was really in Zurich that I did my most important research work. Such a lovely city.
Tell me, Dr. Spatzman, since you spent so much time in Zurich, you must know Professor Emil Grausbach?
Grausbach? Oh, Emil. Oh, dear friend, marvelous man. Of course, our theories conflicted somewhat.
Oh, naturally, since he's not a psychologist. His field is medieval history.
History? Oh, yes, of course. That's such a fine companion. We spent many wonderful nights together in our favorite cabaret.
Now, would that by any chance be that delightful place in Zurich called Das Puppenspiel?
Das Puppenspiel?
Yeah, you know, down around the corner from the Hansversgasse, you know.
Oh, das Puppenspiel von der Hansversgasse, ja. Wunderbar. Never can I forget the Schnitzel à la Holstein.
Und die Straße Walzer.
Ja, und der Straße der Violinspieler.
Well, Dr. Spatzman, I mentioned Professor Grausbach for another reason. After all, wasn't he the brother-in-law of your associate, Otto Kratzig?
Was he? Oh, yeah, brother-in-law. Else Brausbach married Otto Kratzig, yeah.
Oh, no. It was Clara Kratzig who married Emil Grausbach.
Oh, no. It couldn't possibly. Yeah. Imagine, I forgot that.
Well, I shouldn't wonder. The whole thing's a little complicated.
But Clara Kratzig. Oh, du bist wie eine Blume. I remember the first time I ever saw her. Early one summer in the Bavarian Alps. I was a guest of the Geheime Staatsrat of Heilbrunn, 1937 that was.
Heilbrunn, 1937? Why, we must just have missed you. We were there that summer.
Yeah, no wonder Clara looked so beautiful. She just met Grousbach.
Yes. Yes, and it would have been a glorious marriage, wouldn't it, Dr. Spatzman? If there had ever been a Grousbach or a Clara Kratzig.
But I do wish there'd really been a Puppenspiel. It sounded so nice and so schön.
Yeah. What a pity. Yeah, I see. Well, you have been so kind, I must be going.
Now, there's no necessity to leave so quickly.
No.
Mr. Wellman wanted me to talk to you about the vacancy in our psychology department. Of course, with your background and credentials.
Credentials? Well, unfortunately, they were destroyed during the war. Also, there's a trouble with the foreign exchange and my bankers in Amsterdam.
Well, I'm sure that Mr. Wellman would appreciate your difficulties. Perhaps in advance from him.
Oh, no. He has already. That is... Dr. Hall, I have many qualifications. Knowledge of languages, infinite experience in many fields. I could wash your car, please. Or, Mrs. Hall, maybe you need a butler.
Well, if you really want to stay here...
Yeah.
And I can see that you're a very versatile man.
Oh, yeah.
We might have an opening. However, it's only...
Oh, the only is unimportant. Anything. I'm a psychologist, but also a philosopher. When you are hunting for your supper, to try for venison is admirable. But to settle for rabbit is reasonable. So if you do not get what I hope I like what I get.
Well, Mr. Spatzman, if I may quote your famous compatriot, Baron Munchausen, chance and good luck often correct many a mistake. And who knows what brief encounter may open the door to unexpected palaces.
I got back as fast as I could, Dr. Hall. But where's Dr. Spatzman? What have you done with him?
He's gone, Mr. Wellman.
Gone? You mean to say? Slipped right through your fingers. After all,
He's gone to work, Mr. Wellman.
What? Gone to work? Where?
Here at Ivy.
Oh, that's impossible, Dr. Hall. The vacancy in the psychology department isn't open until next year.
Well, he's found an opportunity in a new field, and he seems to be very happy.
New field? What new field? What are you talking about?
Now, Mr. Wellman, your friend felt that he wanted to do some research here at Ivy. And when I suggested a certain project, he accepted my offer with alacrity.
How much did you have to give him?
I think you'll find it's a very reasonable salary, Mr. Wellman.
Well, I'll go into that with you later. Oh, dear, I have to run arrangements, reception for Dr. Spatzman tonight, you know. You're coming, of course.
Oh, we wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad you appreciate my choice, Dr. Hall. Dr. Spatzman is going to be a great asset to Ivy. Yeah, see you tonight. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Wellman.
Oh, we should have told him. He'll just pop when he finds out.
Well, I think Oscar will be able to cope with him. He's a very imaginative and ingenious, and perpetuates a glorious tradition of unabashed prevarication.
Oh, I think he's great fun, but Toddy, the reception for him tonight.
Well, why not? We'll be greeting a newcomer to Ivy, a scholar in the art of storytelling and a psychologist in the art of knowing just how long he can get away with it. And the fact that the good Dr. Spatzman has just been appointed third assistant gardener in the Ivy maintenance department will only make the occasion a more historic one. Nothing like a new broom to sweep away your Weltschmerz.
And if he has any gratitude at all, he'll go out tomorrow and send us a dozen long-stem neuroses.
Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Poole. Mr. Wellman is played by Herbert Butterfield. Dr. Spatzman was Fritz Felt. Tonight's script was written by Barbara and Milton Merlin and Don Quinn. Music was composed and conducted by Henry Russell. Ken Carpenter speaking.
Oh, we love the halls of ivy that surround us here today.
This production of The Halls of Ivy was broadcast with an actual audience present in the studio.
The Ford Dealers of America present The Fred Allen Show. The Fred Allen Show with Fred's guests, Mr. George Jessel, Portland Hoffa, Minerva Pius, Peter Donald, Parker Fenley, the DeMarco Sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And this is Kenny D. D as in Delmar, D as in Ford Dealer, D as in dependable. And dependable is the word for the service you get when you bring your Ford back home. Because Ford dealers really know Fords. They ought to. The average Ford dealer has been a Ford dealer 16 years. When you do one thing that long, you acquire a lot of know-how. And besides, special Ford time-saving methods and special equipment speed the job. And this saving in labor saves you money. From every angle, you'll find it pays to bring your Ford back home to your Ford dealer. See him this week. Well, it's Sunday night again, and Fred Allen drives up to keep his weekly date at the corner of Main Street. As Fred locks his Ford, he hears a voice say,
Mr. Allen!
Portland, gosh, Say, I'm sorry I'm late, Portland. I had to stop in at the National Surety Corporation.
Why?
Well, I canceled the bond we've had for the giveaway programs.
Aren't the listeners insured anymore?
No, Portland. After 8 weeks of insuring our listeners, we haven't had one legitimate claim.
No letters?
Oh, we've had hundreds of letters. One man named Frank Gould lost his pocketbook in Europe last summer and wanted us to send him the money he lost. A shop owner out in California lost 2 rug customers while he was listening to the program. He wanted the $22 profit he would have made on the sale. And we had a letter from a woman in Sioux City. She said, why do giveaway programs bother with radio shows? Why don't they just mail the money out to people and save all that trouble? Well, enough about the giveaway, Imglick, Portland. What's a word which I will translate later in the program. What is new?
The dock strike is over.
Oh, I read that.
Mama said when the dock strike started, 20 strikers were drowned.
How could 20 strikers drown?
When the strikers walked off the dock, they walked in the wrong direction.
Oh, I don't know. That news I don't think is reliable, Portland. I am going to buy my own paper.
Can I go with you?
Why, sure. Let's take a walk down Main Street.
Let's.
Come on here.
What does the paper say?
Hey, look at this. Mr. and Mrs. James Mason had a baby girl born on Thanksgiving Day.
That's funny.
What's funny?
Instead of a turkey on Thanksgiving, the Mason had a stork.
Yes, it is. Not as funny as you thought, I don't know. What you should never preface a joke with that's funny. You may be sadly awakened at the end of it.
Look here, what do you know? The Masons are naming the little girl baby Portland.
Someday the Mason's baby may grow up to be the capital of Oregon.
Well, that's possible, and good luck. Say, here's an item, Portland. Look at this. It says radio comedy is suffering from monotony, undernourishment, and repetition.
I wonder how people feel about radio comedy.
Well, let's ask a few people now as we're walking along Main Street. This man coming with the sickle in the alligator case. Pardon me, sir.
I am Sergei Stroganov, dance critic on Russia's outstanding tabloid Pravda.
You say you are the dance critic?
I am in America with Russian ballet.
Oh.
In Russia, we are having the greatest ballet dancers.
How come?
Everybody in Russia is on their toes.
Oh, that...
I am studying America.
Studying?
The happiest people in America I am meeting in the subway.
In the subway?
It is like Russia.
You mean the people?
Always they are happy in the underground.
Well, tell me, Sergei, how about radio in Russia? Do you have short wave?
In Russia, we are short of everything.
Well, what is radio like in Russia?
All day long is different programs, occasionally entertaining.
Oh, really? What program?
Stalin Faces Life.
Yes.
Front page Stalin.
Yes.
Just Plain Joe.
Yes.
The mystery chef who is later taking off his mask and surprise.
Who is it?
Stalin.
Tell me, what about singing?
On the hit parade is Bing Stalin.
Bing Stalin?
Always he is dedicating songs to the leaders of other countries.
What leaders?
To Chiang Kai-shek, Stalin is singing, I'd like to get you on a slow boat to China.
Well, tell me, Sergei, what about comedy? You know, comedy in Russian radio.
In Russia, we have a comedian. He is very funny.
Something like Bob Hope?
In Russia, there is no hope.
Well, who is your comedian?
Who else? Stalin. Stalin is cracking jokes and doubling over with laughing.
The jokes are funny, eh?
The jokes don't have to be funny.
Why not?
Comrade, in Russia, when Stalin is laughing,
yes,
everybody is laughing.
Fine.
You bore me. Long live the Cominform.
So long, Sergei. Say, it's a nice night to walk down Main Street, Portland.
Look at the sign in that haberdashery.
What sign?
Our socks look better on your feet than they do on our hands.
Hey, you fixed that up, too. You left a Y out of there, which would have made a question out of it. Why are the socks on our feet better? Hey, look who's coming.
Titus Moody.
Hi, Mr. Moody.
Howdy, Bob.
Well, Mr. Moody, did you have a nice Thanksgiving?
Why, the last thing I remember, my brother Huber come by for dinner.
Oh, yes?
To celebrate, I brought out a keg of hard cider.
A hard cider, hey?
All morning, we sat around sipping and talking over old times.
I see.
Long about noon, Huber, he put down his cider mug and he says, Titus, there is power in that keg.
Yeah?
Next thing I know, Huber says, I'm a beaver.
I'm a beaver?
Yeah. And then he started gnawing the treadle on the melodeon.
Huber was loaded, eh?
Huber was loaded and he had his tailboard up.
What did he do?
I took Huber's teeth out and locked him in the closet.
Say, that was some Thanksgiving. Well, tell me, Mr. Moody, do you think comedy on the radio is suffering from monotony, undernourishment, and repetition?
I only listen to one program on the radio.
Oh, really? Which program?
Lem and Clem.
Lem and Clem, eh?
One fella plays the Reuben and the other fella plays the booby.
What do they do?
Oh, they're always pulling jokes. Lem will say to Clem, why is a pig's tail like 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
And then Clem, he'll say, 'cause it's twirly.
You like Lem and Clem, eh?
The worst things I've ever heard.
Well, Come on, Portland.
Wait till I smell what they're making in the candy store.
Oh, stop smelling that candy. Your nose will get fat.
Don't we know this little woman coming?
Oh, this little woman using 2 clam shells for ear laps? We certainly do. It's Mrs. Nussbaum.
So who is paging me? Oh, always it's you.
Yes, say, you look happy tonight, Mrs. Nussbaum.
Why not? I'm just coming from my psychiatrist.
Oh, you have to go to a psychiatrist?
Well, every night I'm dreaming.
Oh, you're dreaming?
Always it is the same dream.
What is your dream?
Always it is a bake shop.
A bake shop, eh?
Curled up, lying in the window, I am a bagel.
A bagel?
And the window is filled with bread, long loaves.
Uh-huh.
And always the bread to me is trying to sing something.
Yes?
Always I am not understanding.
Well, did the psychiatrist interpret your dream?
In 2 visits.
Oh, in 2 visits. What is the reason that you, the bagel, cannot understand the long loaves of bread?
It is French bread.
Oh, my... You should have a cruller there to interpret for you. Well, Mrs. Nussbaum, about radio comedy, do you think it is suffering from monotony?
By me, every week is sounding similar, the joke.
Oh, what program do you listen to?
Jack Benny.
Oh. Do you think Jack Benny's program is always the same?
What's changing?
Well...
Always is starting the program, Mr. F.E. Bloom of Lexington, Kentucky. Always is coming on Don Vilstein first again with Tabasco Men.
Yeah.
Always is singing a quartet.
Yeah.
And as the program is ending, a voice is saying, Jack Benny will coming back in just a minute.
And then what happens?
Who knows?
You mean?
Enough is enough already.
Enough?
Before Jack Benny is coming,
yes?
I am going. Thank you.
Well, you sure run into some strange characters on Main Street, Portland.
You haven't found out anything about radio comedy, have you?
No, not up to now. Well, look, I'll try this man coming along wearing the rubber gloves and carrying the live wire for a cane. Pardon me, Bud.
Rejoice, brother. My name is Humphrey Titter.
Humphrey Titter?
I'm the Joy Boy. Stand back, brother. I'll let go a bluebird.
I remember you, Titter. Titter, you write unusual greeting cards and jingles.
Ah, yes. Everybody sends out cards to couples getting married.
Yes, and you?
I send out cards to people getting divorced.
Divorced?
Congratulations, Sam, old boy. Now you've dumped that Jane. Coming back from Reno, you'll ride the Freedom Train.
Very good, Humphrey.
Rejoice, brother. You can be happy as a cricket. Try rubbing your legs together.
Look, Mr. Titter, what about the monotony of radio comedy?
I have the solution.
Good.
I'll write a jingle. Take this down.
What's the title?
Farewell.
Farewell.
Farewell to you, old radio jokes. I can stand you no longer. California weather and Airwick, Azusa and Cucamonga. Who's on first? Jolson's age. How big is Durante's nose? Cantor with his 5 daughters. How sloppy are Crosby's clothes? Allen's Alley, the mean widow kid. Sinatra looking so bony. Fibber McGee in his closet. Tell me, which twin has the Tony? Coming, mother. Listen, Gracie. At long last, I've made my decision. So farewell to you, old radio jokes. I'm turning to television.
So long, Mr. Titter.
Rejoice, brother.
Well, come on. He didn't let go the bluebird. I was watching him all the time. Let's go.
Look, there's an ad for Ray Bolger's show. Where's Charlie?
Remember that song Ray sings in the show, Once in Love with Amy?
How does it go?
Oh, some Sunday I'll have Al Goodman and his orchestra play it, and the 5 DeMarcos sing Once in Love with Amy for you, Portland. You know, I think it'll sound something like this.
Once in love with Amy, always in love with Amy, ever and ever fascinated by her, sets your heart afire to stay. might be quite the fickle-hearted rover, so carefree and bold, who loves a girl and later thinks it over and just withdraws, but once in love with Amy, always in love with Amy, ever and ever, sweetly you romance her. Trouble is a fella named Jim, and Amy'd rather stay in love with him. Amy's in love with
Say, Portland, have you got a nickel? Kenny Delmar just put a telephone in his new Ford. You know, I think I'll call him up and try the phone out.
Here's a nickel.
Oh, thanks a lot. There's a phone in this fruit store. I'll be right back, Portland. Here's the phone. Hello, operator? Operator, give me information, please.
Information?
This is Fred Allen. I want to get Kenny Delmar's Ford.
Is it a new number, sir?
You bet it's a new number. It's a 49 Ford.
A 49 Ford?
Yes, it's a convertible with an Equipoise V8 engine.
You are calling Kenny Delmar's Ford convertible, 100 horsepower, New York City.
That's right.
The number is Sensation 1, Nyan Forward, Nyan. I will get you the operator.
Well, thank you. Hello, operator?
Number, please.
Operator, I'm trying to get Kenny Delmar's Ford.
A 49 Ford?
Yes, the number is Sensation 1949.
I am trying to get your party.
Thank you.
What model Ford is it?
It's the convertible with hydrocoil front springs, midship ride, and magic action brakes.
I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Delmar's line is busy.
Okay, operator. I'll call him back later.
Oh, before you hang up, sir.
Yes?
How can I get a 49 Ford?
Well, the only thing I can suggest, operator, is that you see your Ford dealer right away. Goodbye. Here's your nickel back, Portland. I got some change inside. Come on now, I'm late.
Late for what?
Well, I have to meet Georgie Jessel at Lindy's. He sent me a note.
Is George Jessel still a big movie producer at 20th Century Fox?
Portland, Mr. Zanuck, the head of the studio, doesn't make a move without Jessel. Before Mr. Zanuck produced that picture, Snake Pit, for 6 months he had Georgie coiled up in a box with a cobra.
George Jessel wants to see you about.
Well, here's Lindy's. Let's go in and find out.
Oh, I have to meet Mama at the automat.
Oh, come on. You can have a sandwich at Lindy's.
I can't. Mama has 2 slots reserved at the automat.
Oh, well, then that's that.
Good night.
Good night, Portland. Well, Lindy's is sure crowded tonight. I wonder where...
Well, hello, Fred.
Georgie Jessel. George, I didn't see you. Georgie, I got your note.
Well, Fred, sit down. I was just going out to dinner. You can watch me.
Oh. But, Georgie...
Wait a minute, I'll call the waiter. Hey, waiter! Hey, Bluebird, come over here.
Yes, sir.
Waiter, I'd like a nice knish.
Knish? What is a knish?
Georgie, a waiter in Lindy's, and he doesn't know what a knish is?
Well, he's new here, you see.
I see.
Yesterday I asked for herring. He didn't know what a herring was.
Oh.
Had to tell him that a herring is a Bronx barracuda.
Well, perhaps you had better tell him what a knish is.
Well, I will. Now, look, waiter, a knish is a little thing. It looks like a half a ladyfinger, and it weighs 200 pounds. If you eat 2 of them, you can't get up. That's what it is.
Georgie, is that why Lindy's is full all the time?
Yes, but people come in, they eat 2 knishes and cannot get out of their chairs.
Oh, I often wonder.
Yes, so 20 years ago, Lindy himself ate 3 knishes, and to this day, he has never left a restaurant, believe me.
Georgie, I don't think you'd better not eat a knish.
All right, I think I'll have something light. Waiter, bring me a baked watermelon.
Yes, sir.
Oh, trouble. I should have eaten on the train.
Oh, you were on the train?
Well, of course. I just got back from Washington.
Oh.
I had an appointment with the president.
The president?
Uh-huh.
Georgie, not the cabinet.
Who knows? Marshall may be leaving. Anything can happen, Fred, you know.
But, Georgie,
I can see the headlines now. UN endorses the Jessel plan.
The Jessel plan?
It will be bigger than the Jolson story. And the UN can do it without Larry Parks. That'll be something, too.
Look, Georgie, while you're waiting for your baked watermelon, what is it? What did you want to see me
Well,
about?
Fred, this is about my new picture playing at the Roxy Theater. It's called When My Baby Smiles at Me.
Yeah?
Now, maybe you could mention it on your radio program.
Oh, George.
Oh, I don't mean the whole half hour, Fred. I mean, just mention my picture once, maybe instead of the commercial.
Well, Georgie, I can't leave out the Ford commercial.
What do you need every week with a commercial? Believe me, everybody knows that the 49 Ford is a great car.
Well, that's right, Georgie.
All right, so just 1 week. Next Sunday, instead of Ford, you mention my picture. Who'll know the difference? Only you and me.
And 6,400 Ford dealers.
All right, but Fred, my new picture stars Betty Grable and Dan Daly.
Georgie, how can I possibly talk about your picture? I haven't even seen it.
Fred, you will see it tonight. You're coming with me to the Roxy. I've got 2 passes.
2 passes? Well,
yeah,
all right.
Wait a minute. Here's the waiter.
Here you are, son.
Fred, how do you like this waiter?
What?
He brought me a knish.
A knish?
Don't even know what a baked watermelon is.
Say, Georgie, it's getting late. Look at the
All
clock.
right, come on, Fred. We'll miss the picture. We'd better get to the Roxy right away.
Let's go, George.
Well, here we are, Fred, right at the Roxy Theater.
Gosh, look at that crowd,
Gentlemen,
George.
just about to start, folks, on the screen, When My Baby Smiles at Me, starring Betty Grable and Dan Daly.
The box office is over here.
Yeah, wait a minute, Fred. I want to speak to that boy. Hey, Mr. Barker.
Yes, sir.
Listen, Okay, Fred, let's go.
The show is just about to start, folks, on the screen, When My Baby Smiles at Me, produced by Georgie Jessel.
Georgie, what became of Dan Daly and Betty Grable?
How do you like that? Well, you promise a guy a screen test, right away he starts yelling your name all over the screen.
Come on, I'll get the ticket.
What tickets? I'm the producer. I've got passes. We'll exchange them here at the box office.
Oh, good.
Pardon me, miss.
How many, please?
I'd like to exchange these passes.
Sorry, but I can't take no passes.
Well, these are perfectly good, miss.
Yeah, that's what some guy said last night. I wound up with 2 tickets to a Wallace rally.
But, miss, these passes are signed by Darrell Zanuck.
I don't care if they're signed by Thunderhead. I want you to show you're paying $1.40 like everybody else.
Georgie, tell her who you are.
Miss, it so happens that I am Georgie Jessel.
So what?
What so what? I produced the picture that they're showing inside.
What picture?
When My Baby Smiles at Me.
When did we change?
You don't even know what picture you're showing?
How should I know? My back is to the theater. I'll beat it with them passes. You're holding up the line.
All right, okay. How much is it?
For 2 of you, it'll be $3.20.
Miss, you said $1.40. $2.40s is $2.80.
While your friend was stalling, the price has changed. It's $3.20.
All right, miss. Fred, give us a $3.20.
Okay, Georgie, you've got your mittens on. Here's $5, miss.
Here's your change.
All right, I'll take the tickets, Fred. Let's go in.
Tickets, please.
Here you are.
Main floor, straight ahead for all seats.
Come on, Fred.
Okay, Georgie.
Get in line, please.
Usher, 2 seats, please.
This aisle is full. You'll have to get in line.
Usher, I am Georgie Jessel.
Mr. Jessel, Usher, produce the picture.
Next aisle to your right, sir.
Thank you. See, Fred? Just mentioned a name.
It sure worked, Georgie.
Oh, Usher.
Next aisle to the right, sir.
It's just one aisle over, Fred.
I'm coming, George.
Next aisle to the right.
This is the last aisle, Fred.
Right through this door, sir.
Thank you.
Georgie, we're out on 50th Street.
Well, how do you like that?
Hey, wait a minute.
Let us back in here.
Open
that door.
Here, stop banging this door, you bums. There's a picture going on in here.
We know that.
We came here to see the picture.
Well, this is an exit. The box office is on 7th Avenue. You'll have to get a ticket.
We've got tickets.
Yes, he has the stuff.
Well, you can't come through this door.
We came out this door.
You sent us out, remember?
It's so dark in here, I can't see faces. Every head to me is just a lump.
Georgie, tell him who you are.
Look, Usher, I am Georgie Jessel.
Yeah. Georgie Jessel. I just saw your name on the screen.
How do you like that, Fred? The picture started. You've already missed the best part.
Georgie, if the rest is a letdown, I tell you, I'll see it some other time.
Oh, no. Fred, you sing my picture tonight. Usher, be a good fella. Let us black in.
Well, it means breaking my usher's oath, but all right, come on.
Thank you.
Anything else I can do for you, Mr.
We
Jessel?
just want 2 seats.
Yeah.
Next aisle to your left.
Oh, no, you don't. We've been all through that.
But this aisle is full, Mr. Jessel.
Georgie, why don't we just stand?
Now, look, Fred, have you forgotten who you're with? You're not only going to see the picture, you're going to see it sitting down.
Sitting where?
Have you tried upstairs, Mr. Jessel?
That's a good idea. Now, how do we get upstairs?
That stairway back of the Dixie cups leads to the mezzanine.
All right, Dixie Schmixie, thanks. Come on, let's go, Fred.
All right, Georgie. And here we are in the mezzanine, Georgie.
Well, we'll get some action now.
Here's the usher.
Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Yes. 2 seats, usher, please.
May I see your stubs?
Here they are.
Oh, shame on you, sir. Shame on you.
Who's smoking?
What's wrong, usher?
This is the mezzanine, the loge seat.
So what?
Your tickets are for the lower floor.
Well, how do we get tickets to sit up here?
You'll have to go back to the box office.
All right, you stay here, Fred. You rest yourself. I'll go down to the box office.
I wouldn't advise it, sir.
Why not?
There aren't any loge seats right now.
No seats?
Georgie, as long as there aren't any seats.
Fred, you're going to see my picture if I have to get 2 Morris chairs.
Sorry, no Morris chairs allowed in the mezzanine.
Usher, do you know who I am?
You're Georgie Jessel.
Well, how did you know?
Oh, word's gotten around.
Well, look, Usher, I produced this picture. I was on my feet day and night. 7 days a week for 12 months. I'm a tired man, and I'd like to sit down.
Well, you can't sit here. Why don't you try the balcony?
How do we get to the balcony?
You're left behind the candy counter, 4 flights up.
All right, come on. Let's go, Fred.
To the balcony?
They know I'm here. They're probably holding something open.
Well, let's go and find out. Gosh, Georgie, this balcony's pretty high. My nose is bleeding. Look, George, the stage is a mile away. Who's that on the screen?
Wait a minute. I think it's Dan Daly.
From here, he looks like Lassie.
Look, as soon as we get 2 seats, I will rent a couple of telescopes.
Oh.
See, it will be all right. Oh, Usher.
Your stubs, please.
Usher, I'm Georgie Jessel.
Glad to meet you, sir. I'm Horace Treadwell. Your stubs, please.
Looky, Horace, we'd like a couple of seats.
Yeah. Next aisle to your right, sir.
Now, wait a minute. This could be dangerous. Is there a door up here?
Are there any seats up here?
No, sir.
Georgie, I've had enough. I want my money back.
Now, Fred, I produced the picture. We've got tickets. We're going to get seats. Horace, where's the manager's office?
On the main floor, Mr. Jessel.
All right, thank you, Horace. Let's go, Fred.
Oh, boy, the main floor. Now, when do I get my money?
Stop with the money, Fred. We're going to get seats. Now, here's the sign, manager's office. Yes? Pardon me, I'm looking for the manager.
Georgie Jessel.
Well, Joe Hawkins, you old son of a gun. You're the manager?
Georgie, I heard you were making a tour of the theater. Well, how'd you like it?
Oh. I like it. The theater is great. Only one thing. Say, did you ever think of putting in 2 more seats?
2 more seats? I'll make a note of that.
Never mind the seats. What about my money?
George, who is this?
Well, this is Fred Allen, a friend of mine.
Oh. Georgie, I expect 2 seats to open up in the orchestra any minute.
Oh, nice work, Joe. Thank you.
A couple of Bobby Soxers dropped their lunch on the way in this morning. They've been sitting inside for 10 hours with no food. They can't last much longer.
They can still last longer than I can. I want my money back.
You want your money back?
Yes, I want my money back.
You'll get your money back. It's going to look mighty bad on the report.
What report?
The report to the front office. 1 refund on when my baby smiles at me. Mr. Zanuck's going to think somebody didn't like the picture. Who produced the picture? Georgie Jessel.
But I didn't see the picture.
Alan, you call yourself Georgie's friend. You're sticking a knife right in his back.
Georgie.
He's right, Fred.
I'm sticking a knife in your back?
The handle is showing.
Georgie, I paid $3.20 to see your picture. I didn't see your picture. I would like to have my money back.
Gad, he's stubborn.
Yes, I'm stubborn.
Now, wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute. I'll fix this. I'll tell you what we'll do. Joe, can you get Fred a bag of popcorn?
Sure. Here's a bag right here. I just finished popping it.
Fine. Here you are, Fred. There's plenty of butter in it, too. Now, go ahead.
Georgie, nobody eats popcorn just to eat popcorn. People only eat popcorn when they're watching a picture.
Now, sit down, Fred. Eat your popcorn. I'll tell you the story of my picture. Are you ready?
Now, wait till I get my popcorn open. Okay, Georgie, I'm ready.
Well, When My Baby Smiles at Me is a story of a great love. Dan Daly is in love with Betty Grable. Give me some. As the picture starts, Dan Daly is on the stage singing, For when my baby smiles at me, my heart goes roaming to paradise. Yes, sir. And when my...
Before we close up shop, your Ford dealer wants to give you a safety reminder. The highways are extra crowded this weekend, and he hopes that you'll drive with extra caution. In almost all traffic accidents, someone has violated the law. So observe all the rules, be alert and careful. The life you save may be your own. Next week, our guest will be Henry Morgan, a friend of Jack Eigen's. Thank you, and good night. Good night.
This is NBC.